like I'm cut. I have to play off of other people. I can't keep something going.
That's how I feel about me. But honestly, you sounded pretty good when I popped in.
Mm. I just feel so um, artificial. Are we live again? Can you tell?
Oh, I have no idea.
I don't have the
Um,
juggling.
God, my hair looks great today. Jesus Christ.
You've got a green glow about it too.
Yeah.
Let's see.
We're on.
We are on.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And because I get feedback. You're on. Wait. You're in the stream. You're on this side of me. So if I look this way, it looks like I'm looking at you.
Would you want me to move the guys around?
Oh, I don't care. You should be in the top slot.
I think I hit the wrong. No, I think I'm facing the right way. I'm looking at you on my screen at least. Maybe OBS is reversed.
Yeah, I think it might reverse.
I would like to see the chat. I need to pop out the chat here. Maybe Cluck will come back and join us. But my channel clearly doesn't have as much people popping in. I get like half as many views as you do. But the channel's half small, so that kind of makes sense.
I should raise my chair up a little bit. How's that? How do I look?
You look good. I like the green glow. The green glow is
Thank
really
you.
nice.
You're in front of a green screen, so I was trying to like have some visual continuity with you.
The problem with the green screen is it like only works directly through OBS, and once you add another service to it, the other service wants to steal the camera, and you cannot use the green screen effects in OBS. So there's just so many logistical problems. Just never
A lot of it would
ending.
be solved if we were in the same space.
Yeah, I'll have to move to California.
Yeah, you should pack up and move to Los Angeles.
So we could film.
I have to after this election anyway.
Yeah, that's true. All right.
All right, so we're cooking, right?
Yeah, we got the live. Look at this work. We've got
It
our
looks good.
yeah.
Why have you have? Oh, okay.
There we go.
But I was watching. It looked like Donald Trump was above me.
So I can switch to each of us, and so see, we kind of need a producer too to do all these things because it's hard to do the live stream talking elements and keep doing all the switching yourself.
Have the robot do it.
Yeah, he's good for nothing, man. I can't switch to him right now.
Sucks.
There's no robot switching. So
Oh no! All right, let me put out a thing on my channel. Here's me. Community. Update your fans. Do they call it fans? Okay. Hey everyone. Oh, should I say hey everyone? Right now, we're live on at Terminal Modes channel. Come hang out. And find some laughs amongst the depression. The election depression. That rhymes. Election. Oops, I wrote erection. Election.
I put that earlier was my 2024 erection coverage, and then I thought maybe people will not appreciate that.
Come hang out, find some laughs amongst the election depression. We're just vibing.
Yeah, and I am set up to share my Blender thing too, so we can go over that if we run out of topics, or you want to go to something different. We can shoot for that again. Although it would have been better on your channel because then you could have the content there.
Yeah, but like, whatever. I'm trying to one, I want to keep doing this because I want to get better at it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's an untapped resource. But also, I'm like trying to work with you more and more. So
Me too.
I work
I need
computer like
you. I need you, buddy, because
I need you too.
yeah.
It's stupid that we're not like full time on everything together.
Well, we are. It always ends with the JTB sit. I try to always put that in there that you're the producer.
All right, one sec. I love that. The what is that called? Not the ad
Vanity
logo,
card.
but what?
Vanity card.
Is that what's called
Yeah,
Vanity Card?
I think it's called a
I
vanity
love
card.
it. So can we look at those? Oh, you got some more pictures of that. Can we show some of those on stream? Let me post that for us real quick.
For that Elon Musk one that I did, there was actually an itchy and scratchy cartoon that ended with the Stephen J. Cannell thing where he pulls the typewriter. I did a terminal mode one where he pulls the paper out of the typewriter and throws it in the air.
1 second. Hala mode? What the hell? Al modes? I fucked up your name. I gotta delete this. I said, hey everyone, right now we're live on Al Mode's channel. Delete that. Bye bye.
I can fix my. I can still do green screen here while you're doing your thing. I'm glad this is live content because this is the kind of thing that people want to see.
Yeah, it's all of our tech shit.
Hey, I can do green screen on you too. So if you had the green screen, you wouldn't even need to do the effect on your end. I could just process it.
Can you just erase my background and have a shoddy green screen?
OBS doesn't have any kind of. I could crop you. I don't know. If this were Blender, I could create splines around you and give you a little mask.
Spline me up, baby.
Yeah.
Should I put I gotta put a picture on here so it's more attention grabbing. I have a picture of you, but I feel like that would be kind of mean.
Any picture, using any picture of me is considered mean.
Really...
So...
No, there's one where you're outside and you're very sleepy. Well, I'm trying to look at what I have on my desktop. Oh no, you wouldn't be happy with either of these.
You have pictures of me on your desktop.
Well, my desktop is like you can't even see the background.
Oh really? Is that?
Yeah, it's adjustable.
You got to share your desktop sometimes because mine is like that too.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Let's see. I have that timeliners poster that I made in Canva.
We've got some people in the chat. We got Mortar Round says game over. I guess it's the blue wave. It's over for. I don't know how to read that one. And then we have Smoke and Dabberdu 420. Is this one of your alts, Justin? Smoke and Dabberdu?
Smoke and Dabberdu? I'm about to smoke some Dabberdu. Looking at these results.
I still think that account Smoke and Big Doinks is you. I think it's your alt.
I wish it was.
Dude, it's totally you. It's you. Just admit it.
Oh, I should. Okay, I gotta put a picture. Here's what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use a picture of Joe Biden as like the hook image. Joe Biden. Let's find the worst picture of him. Google image search. Joe Biden idiot. Okay, let's skip all the Trump stuff. Let me find a real picture. I don't want to see like Trump memes. I want to see just him looking like a damn fool. Or Joe Biden depressed. Maybe that's the right one we want to do. Let's see. Joe Biden depressed.
Are you tweeting this out?
I'm gonna do both. Yeah. Put it on my YouTube and tweet it out too. Oh no, the one I have one where he's like this. Oh, okay, that's a good one.
I never find that like the. I'm gonna try to flip this. Let's see if I can flip it. I never find that the community. I like the community tab in YouTube, but the engagement on it is so slow. It doesn't ever seem like. Oh, why did I do the wrong thing? It never seems like you can use it for any kind of real-time engagement. It's just a post that you send out.
Yeah, it's kind of like quick updates. Oh, here's a. Well, I hate this guy.
Yeah. So you instantly bring joy to any kind of stream just with your ebullience.
Ebullience?
Yes. Is that a word? Ebullience. Ebullient is a word, I think, isn't it?
You're a bully.
A bull.
Okay, let's see. Wish I had something funnier to post, but this is good enough. let's see. Ay, ay, ay. Come on, Justin. Come on, man. Get it together.
You're doing this in real time. People are seeing the master at work right here. This is the man. This is the man that got 100 and what did you get? 175,000 updates for your Hannibal Buress thing. I didn't follow. Where did that end up
Yeah.
with?
My most viral tweet ever,
Is it?
baby.
Is it really
I
now?
think it is, yeah. Yeah.
Even more so than the pager tweet?
Yes, all my best tweets are about terrorist attacks and rape.
Yeah.
That's Twitter for you. Sorry to make the stream depressing immediately.
No worries. I'm just clicking between these things. I don't know why. Do I have? Oh, you can add effects to each different scene in OBS. Apparently.
Okay, take a look at that community post I just put out and let me know if that works for you.
I have to. I think I retweeted your Hannibal Buress one. I felt a little bit better about that one because I figured people won't harass you as much.
They won't dox me as much?
Yeah, you won't get doxed as much.
Aye, aye, aye.
BTS.
That's a... Hey, right now, I'm just going to say, hey, Twitter's a slightly different vibe, so I'm just going to delete a couple words. Hey, right now, right, that's Gauche on Twitter, to do all caps like that. And at we're live with at terminal mode. What I like about the name terminal mode is that it's so much bigger than one person. What I don't like about Justin T. Brown, that it's exactly the size of one person.
Well, let me tell you something really cool about terminal mode. There are two states of terminal mode. One is where
I'm already bored, brother.
No, you got to listen to this. You're going to like it. The two states of terminal mode is one where it interprets characters in RAW, and it's called RAW mode. So you can have a RAW mode. And the other state is where it takes the characters and it translates them into other things, and that's called cooked mode. So terminal mode has two states, RAW mode and cooked mode.
I ignored that. I was too depressed.
Either of them would make for another project.
Come hang out and goof around with us while we try to offset the election depression. I feel like I'm making too big of a promise here. Yeah. Come hang out. And come hang out. Or just vibe and look at BTS. I might smoke a joint. I won't do it on stream though, in case it gets me in trouble. Will that get us in trouble? If Kamala would have won, it would have been legalized, apparently.
Really?
That was her latest promise. Oh shit! I fucked it up already because I didn't put the damn link. I suck at this. Why do I have to suck? When I used to work in the film industry, work on set, it's oftentimes pretty hectic, and you're not sure where your living situation is if you're on set somewhere far away from where you live. And so people would crash together oftentimes, and I crashed with this guy. He had some he was going through some stuff, right? But he said something that, really stuck with me. He was just trying to get ready in the morning, and he kept dropping stuff in the bathroom and getting frustrated and stuff. And all of a sudden he just screamed, "Why is everything I touch turned to shit?" And I'm sorry, I don't want to laugh, but it's just it's been
you just find joy in other people's misery.
I think so. No, it's a human experience, man. Yeah. But it's just he's a nice guy and stuff. And just going through some stuff that was just so funny. And I felt it too, because you've had those days where it's you can't get anything right, and you put your pants on backwards kind of day. And I felt it when he said that. I don't know. We think I touched her. So shit. We're just vibing, looking at BTS. I might smoke a joint.
Is it?
I'm
Is
sorry.
it? Are you allowed to do that on stream? I don't think you are you? I don't know.
Listen, Alex. If you
Yeah.
don't follow Alex Novell, you should. He's a great dude, a good friend of ours. You've just put out an amazing documentary recently. Whenever I tune in his live streams, he's just like doing
Yeah.
dabs
Yeah.
for like donations. People just sending $5 and like, all right.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he's still going, so I think it's okay. Let me put the link here because that's the smart thing to do. Wait, why am I the full screen?
It's because
Where are you?
we're watching him. I'm hiding.
I want you in here. I want to feel like we're all hanging out in the same space.
All right. Well, we're watching the. Oh, this is not. Is this paused? Did I do something?
You should make us bigger and then the election stuff smaller. Honestly.
All right. Okay. Let's do that. It's gonna. There we go.
Let's message the Discord
Okay,
too because
so-
we have a Discord.
What do you think about that? Does this look good?
One second.
Okay.
Hey everyone, everyone, we're live and rapidly oscillating between joy and depression. Come hang.
Okay. So here's what we got going on now. If you want to look at that.
Wait, why are you laughing?
Because you said so mix up the screen, so it's different.
Oh, stop it! That's too much. It's
No,
blurry too.
Is that,
It's too
that made you
blurry.
too big? All right.
Wait, who liked that? Who's coming in? Oh, Chuds.
Yeah. Oh, is he in the?
Yeah, he put an emote on the announcement.
He should join the. If he joins this channel, we can hear him, and it'll be just like old days. If he joins that.
Wait, what channel? The one that you.
The one that you're in. That we're in together,
Wait,
right?
Can you join when it's already cooking?
Yeah. He just pops in there. I told him that I wasn't sure what was going on. He said he was taking the day off, and I was like, does that mean
That was pretty smart of him.
you don't want to do politics, or are you taking the day off of? Oh, I should be over here.
Why is your background way over there?
People are gonna appreciate seeing all this.
I'm trying to watch the stream while you're doing this. It makes me want to throw up. I feel dizzy.
I feel like throwing up every time I stream, so I gotta change this. Chud should join the. If he's watching the live stream, he should definitely come. That link was. It's in the chat. No, maybe it's not in the chat. Maybe I need to relink
Oh, you
it.
have a new chat. All right, we're trying to compete with I see Majority Report and the
This is
recommended videos.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Yep.
We're
We're
gonna.
smoke them. They're only at 22K right now.
They don't have a chance against this analysis we're about to drop.
And this stream is brought to you by Mentholatum lip balm, medical lip balm. Mentholatum. Your lips will thank you.
Also, gamer sups. Sup.
What is that? Gamer
It's just-
subs? What are you talking
You know, just like one of those caffeine things that you put in your beverage, liquid or flavored caffeine crystals, and it's marketed as there's lots of those.
This stream is brought to you by cocaine.
Oh, what's this? There's some.
Wait, why am I so I'm looking at the stream. You look crisp. You look HD, brother. Beyond HD. I look a little blurry.
Do you?
Why is that? Just on the stream though. In the room I look good. I mean, in the room I look really good. But on the stream, it's a little bit. It's
Well,
not a terminal level.
really, it's not a terminal level production. It's the same. I just cropped us both and moved us over here. So I'm gonna. Where's Chud's?
Chad, who looks more HD, me or terminal?
I need to see chat. I thought I popped chat out earlier.
Why are we both looking in the same direction? It looks weird.
I can't move my camera at this point. I'm already set up. You need to
You're
turn
talking in
your
the back of my head.
yeah. You need to turn your shit because I've
Wait,
got this.
which way do I look? Is it this way? This
No,
to
the
look
other
at
way.
you?
You need to look the other way. Hey, you know what I can do here? I can here. No, just look the other way. I'll just do this. I'll flip you horizontally so your room is
Look
backwards.
Look this way.
No, no, no. Now I think I fixed it because now you're looking. Everything that you have is backwards.
I need to look this way. My camera should be over here. So
Well,
no,
hold
it's
on.
not
No, look,
flipping here.
I'm flipping, or am I not? I'm flipping something else. I wasn't flipping.
I'm flipping out. Is what's happening here.
I'm just gonna. You're gonna be flipped. Sorry.
Ay caramba. Damn, Chad, if you could see
Okay, there we go.
how 4K HD I look in the streaming room, you would be very impressed. But on the stream itself, not looking good.
Well, I gotta like. I'm trying to match. You know how like sometimes you have to use a Gaussian filter to make some footage match up to older footage. I'm trying
Yeah,
to
could you
make.
could you like de-res yours a little bit?
I'm trying to make you look a little worse so I can.
No, you need to make you look worse. You just sharpen me up.
No, no,
Meet me
it doesn't work
halfway.
that way.
Blur yourself like 3%.
Hey, I bet there is.
Sharpen me up,
Let's. I bet there is an option in here to do it. I have to put on my old man glasses to do it though.
Wait, which glasses are you wearing? Your young man glasses currently?
Just every glasses, every pair of glasses I have is an old man pair of glasses. So I'm not quite as old as Sam Cedar, so we can't get that going. But maybe we can do some kind of old man political analysis that will. We could get 3.2 views compared to their 322K.
I saw a video of Sam Cedar. Well, I was watching their like election predictions earlier, and they played a video from like 8 years ago, and he looked like a child compared to how he looks today. Not because that he looks bad. He looks handsome today.
Yeah, he's
super salt and pepper. The hair's coming out. The beard.
he's really going for the Mark Maron look now.
Aye.
He totally is. He totally is.
Do you have that? You have that emote that you made?
Yeah, I have. I should share that.
Yeah, you should share that. You should definitely share that.
Um,
Oh my goodness.
I can. Hold on. Wait, what's going on here? No, that's. I think you're cropped right. You look.
Make me sharper.
Okay, I can do that.
Can you really?
Yeah.
No, make yourself blurrier.
No, I'm gonna make you sharper. I'm gonna saturate you too, so you're really pink.
Wait, do you have those controls on your end?
Yeah, yeah. Um,
I
so
just
this
saw
is you.
Digby for a second.
You did.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, so here's the effect filters in here. We got sharpen. I'm gonna turn you up to 100. Let's see what it does to you. Oh my God, that's me too, though. I guess it's me too. Whoa, that's pretty bad. I don't think we want to do that.
Smoking Doobaroo. What's up, brother? He woke up loosing. Mortar rounds, game over. I mean, looks like it.
Does that really? I haven't been paying any attention to it. Have they called anything?
I'm scared to open it up. I mean, it's trending in a pretty ugly direction, I think, including every swing state.
The popular vote. It would just imagine if he wins the popular vote.
And yeah, he's gonna win like Reagan.
Oh my God, it's gonna be.
Arizona is actually surprisingly close.
It should be because we got Carrie Lake here, and I think she's polarizing, so she's gonna draw people out.
You're counting on the Tempe vote in Arizona.
Tempe vote.
Yeah, like Magic Crystal white girls hopefully breaking for Harris. Is that what you're hoping for?
Tempe's different than Sedona, though.
Oh, Sedona. Sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize to all the Tempe
Yes.
people. Sedona. I love Sedona is so beautiful, but I go there and just see all those white people, and I'm like, God, they annihilated a lot of Native Americans who lived here, and just stole their culture, or tried to like do a bastardized Disney version of their culture.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Did you go see the ruins there in Sedona, where they're built up in the cliff?
No, I didn't get a
I don't
chance.
know
I
if
just
it's
we were there for one night, and it was gorgeous. Just I think I'm more acutely aware of that stuff than I've ever been in my life. So like going anywhere, like doing anything as a leftist, socialist, or somebody that knows about history and cares about people. Uh, I don't know. It's hard to like separate yourself from everything.
it's you mentioned this because a funny story. It took when I was in right after college. I took a girlfriend to Las Vegas because
Oh yeah.
and we were at the Bellagio with the fountain show, and she's like, "Oh, this is really beautiful," and I was like, it's just fucking tragic that they spend all this money on all these fountains and this music, and there are people homeless living in this down the street here. I can never look at something and appreciate it without evaluating it in the context of all the other bad shit that's happening. It's a curse.
Yeah. Yep.
You
Sorry.
said Chuds was somewhere. Where was Chuds?
He's in
Oh,
the Discord.
where? I didn't see him.
I made the announcement in the projects. Oh, Toasted Zergling said, "Oh, he just posted." Toasted. Oh, at Toasted. Come hang out.
We confused everybody by switching over to my channel, but
Yeah, I feel like we're so bad. Like for people that want to be YouTubers, we're the worst. We're the worst guys.
maybe that should be our channel.
I
Should be
mean,
like,
as a boomer, you at least have an excuse.
a boomer. Thank you. I think our channel should be all about trying to do the worst podcast possible. Never being able to do anything right.
You're doing a pretty good job. That's the goal. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, caramba.
if uh,
Toasted said game over, and then you just.
no, I don't want to hear all this people's despondency. That's going to allow Trump to call it even earlier. They should count every vote.
Sorry, I just watched the video he said in Discord. It's pretty good. Well, okay. You want to do some election analysis? In 2020, didn't Trump technically or not technically? It looked like he was trending to win on the end of the first night, and then they counted all the
Yeah,
ballots.
that's how he called it.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you? Is it looking like the similar kind of thing?
I haven't really been paying attention. I don't know if you can tell anything until once they start calling the states the swing states, because they've already decided that the bulk of these states are going a certain way, and the difference right now is still close between what swing states are out there. I mean, so
Here's a nice tweet that I just saw from Zach Bornstein. Watching Uncut Gems to relax. Oh, God, I do like Twitter. I just wish that Elon Musk would drive a Cybertruck off a cliff.
yeah. Did you see that thing? Was it he that posted it? That with him carrying Joe Rogan carrying Trump, that cartoon, the AI slop.
Oh, some
It was
slop.
so gross.
Some trash.
Yeah. That's the thing about them is none of them have any taste at all. I've never seen
it's-
anything cool that I'm jealous of. That oh yeah, he kind of assessed
I
it.
think we're in a period of the revolt of the untalented losers. I mean, that's what AI. I mean, the bulk of what AI is used for, at least what's popular online, is the image generation and people making their own little videos and fake images and stuff. Just oh man, I have no talent at all. How can I use this as a cheat code to be liked? And it comes off as even more losery, but that's where we're at, man. That's what the whole Trump thing is. How the biggest fucking unlikable dipshits alive are all got together, and we're mad that everyone was cooler than them.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking revenge of the nerds, the evil nerds, though.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, but these throughout history, it's always kind of like this. It's as left wing anything gains momentum, well, whether it's socialism or civil rights, whenever there's big movements in history, there's always a big backlash in return. the idea of like white power is like a result of black people saying black power. And
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of like the Trump reemergence is like a reaction to like BLM and Bernie and No Dapple and all these left wing movements that are like crashing on the shores of capitalism. you know, what happens when what happens when that happens is that fascism rises to meet it every time. So I think that's what we're experiencing now, and I just hope that we can get our shit together fast enough to not fucking die. Because when fascism comes,
Yeah.
it's not. We don't have a great. I mean, fascism has a great track record of losing overall, but in a lot of countries, not a lot of countries, but in some countries, it was a pretty rough ride. World War II was a pretty rough ride. And when the fascists take over, the left usually gets pretty annihilated if they actually do assume power. So I don't welcome it at all, and I don't sell. I think some people, and I'm rambling, but like one thing that's been frustrating with this is seeing a lot of folks that are on the left that share my political perspectives that I'm friends with too. It's like I think the threat detector is a little bit busted for some people because a lot of us come from like deliberalizing ourselves. Like a lot of us were liberals and then we felt betrayed and we realized that Democrats suck. And then we end up becoming to the left of Democrats through that route. And so our main target is like, where most of our ire goes is like to who we were 5 years ago, to liberals, right? But then we end up kind of like letting the right wing kind of off the hook a bit. I think liberals have a pretty good beat on the threat of the right wing, but they don't understand how bad they are themselves. And I think that the left has a pretty good beat on liberals, but because of that, we fucking don't pay attention when the right gets hyper-fascistic.
Yeah, it's all a little confusing to me because, like, coming out of philosophy, the liberals were, like, what I studied, empiricist philosophy, liberals were radicals. Like, they opposed the church and state. And so, like, they in the 80s or 90s, and they came up with neoliberals, which were just the economic liberals, the ones just wanted free enterprise. So I've kind of always, like, considered myself a liberal, but it seems like
you and Dave Rubin are like classical liberals.
Well, I mean, that's where a classical liberal is John Locke. But I don't like...
From Lost, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the guy from Lost.
That subtle show.
I mean, I've always considered myself a leftist, but I was always okay with the term liberal, and I thought that neoliberal was just a new word that they were using to describe people who weren't really traditional liberals who believed in liberty. But like the online left,
Neo is cool. It's like Neo from the Matrix.
Yeah.
So he felt like cool liberal.
But like the online left uses it as always as an insult instead of like it's more of a but I think it's far more complex than people want to say it is, because here in Arizona, the federal government was over. They were looking into the Phoenix Police Department, and the mayor is Ruben Gallego's ex-wife. She's a Democrat, but she doesn't want police oversight because she needs to have a close connection to the police because people are crazy and she needs to have some sort of protection. And Ruben Gallego is also like a military guy. He's against police oversight as well. So, I mean, they do qualify for being liberals, but they're also people who are saying vote against Trump, even though Trump losing means that they get to maintain, they will be having federal oversight of the police department. I know that's confusing, but, in order for the police department not to be investigated, Trump has to win. If Trump wins, then he will no longer have oversight, which is kind of what the liberals want, but they're voting against their interests. To a degree, they're voting against fascism, even though they have these elements of fascism, and then they want the police state and whatnot. So it's really complicated, and that's the thing that I don't like about Twitter is everything's reduced to these kind of just name calling, and so.
Sorry, everybody. I did not unmute myself.
Mortar Rounds said that we're losing the Senate race here. I wonder who's losing. I haven't really I haven't been paying any attention because I was like the whole night I've just been trying to dick around and try to get a stream going. Um,
Yeah, I think John Fetterman died.
he's not even up for election, is he?
Yeah, but he died.
You secured his position in the Senate.
Oh my God, I
with-
can't believe I fucking won that election for John Fetterman. And then he betrayed me.
And he made you look so bad too because you watch that video now and you're in the context. Oh, this is.
No, it's more true now because it's Ben Shapiro
Yeah,
endorsing
yeah.
John Fetterman.
Yeah.
Should we watch that video? you clear that
No,
up?
please no. Yeah.
What sucks about that? Like technically, it's one of my favorite videos that we've done.
You
And
definitely.
it was really funny and really fun to make. And my buddy Chris helped me. Like we worked for about a month on that, and it was a really great experience working with him. And then it's like help the guy get elected, even a small percentage point, or maybe help like 1% or something, but like it still tipped him over the edge. And then he just turned out to be a fucking monster, emotionally and physically.
Did it happen after the stroke or was he before the stroke?
I think it was. I mean, well, I think what made him, or when people noticed how psycho he was, it was when Israel went nuts on Gaza, and then he was just like started wearing the fucking Israeli flag like a big dumb idiot and walking around and antagonizing protesters and stuff intentionally. And that was what kind of turned everybody off from him.
Zergling's in the chat. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming out.
Dosen Zergling, what's
Walrus
up?
for life.
He's chilling with his dad, an old college roommate on Vonoise chat. Vonoise chat? What's that? Oh, voice chat.
Noise.
Vonoise chat. Love you too, Brian.
Yeah. You're the
Mortar,
best,
who are
Brian.
we losing? Who are we losing? These
Yeah.
people aren't us, man. Who is losing in the Senate? Do we know?
We probably don't know these people. I like, unlike your channel, my channel, like I said, it's a fraction. We'd have to really harvest some people to come over here.
Oh, I should add the link there. I like on the YouTube community section, you can edit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, you can edit on Twitter too
If you pay,
if you're
whatever
a
bucks
cool
a month.
blue check.
Yeah. I take a little bit of pleasure in being really bigoted towards blue checks.
Southpaw's a blue check.
I mean, I like a class trader too.
There's a lot of people who really, I guess they've invested so much time in it that taking that away from them kind of made it so they had to pay to keep this thing that was kind of important. Like you invest so much energy and then Elon just flushed it down the toilet, right? And then he changed all the rules that people had to operate by.
Yep. All right, I'm trying to search. America election. Okay. No firm updates yet. Trump looking like he's going to win Pennsylvania by a healthy
Really?
margin.
Seriously?
81% reporting he's winning by like.
Yeah,
4 points.
but that's what happened last time, and then all
By
the
4 points though. I mean, it's only 200,000 votes, so
no,
I guess
they
they're still going to count the cities.
the urban cities are always returned like last, both in Pennsylvania and
But by that much.
it was massive, and that's why he said we were winning, and then they took the massive dump on us, and so
Big dumps. Okay. Let's see. Wisconsin. I mean, the vote counts aren't very. What's crazy is the percentage points make it look nuts, but then like if you look at the actual vote counts, it's like less than 100,000 votes, which I mean just goes to show that people don't vote.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I know people like to scold for not voting, but it's also like I can't blame people for like having no hope and feeling like all these fucking millionaires don't represent them at all. I can't blame people for that. I mean,
Yeah,
we can call it a civic duty. I mean, if you gave me a choice, I would make it like forced. Like they just send you a text and like
yeah.
vote now. Your phone is locked until you vote. But I can't blame people for being despondent, especially people that are like not white men. You know, like if you're like ADOS and they're like, "Oh yeah, come on, vote." I can't blame you for being like, I'm all set. Um, or any marginalized group, really. So I don't know. I just wish that like we had a democracy representative system that like actually had people that represented them in it instead of like the richest guy in town.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like the way it's always been since like, you
I know,
know.
but that sucks.
Yeah, I know. It's just it's it seems like human beings can't shake that kind of sycophantry. We can't get out of this the idea that these people are cool and we should be worshiping them. We're just
Well, it's
designed.
also like it's like what is like here I go talking about socialism again. What is socialism but like trying to shed the idea of hierarchies? You know, it's like we've been a lot of cultures have been hierarchical for millennia, um, centuries at least. So it's like shedding those ideas of identifying hierarchies, how they work, and shedding them is like the socialist project. But it's a slow process because it's so ingrained, not just structurally but culturally.
Well, what's
So,
what's fascinating is like for the bulk of human existence, we lived in an egalitarian, a more egalitarian state at least, because we didn't pre-agrarian society. We were just walking around and we could only carry so much, so nobody got to have a big house with a bunch of shit in it. And then eventually we got to the point where somebody's like, hey, once we developed agriculture, they're like, I'm the best at agriculture. The Donald Trump, so he's really good at agriculture.
I'm the Donald Trump of
He
agriculture.
came around and then he's like, and as a result, I get to have the golden toilet and everything. And then people
Yeah.
believed him, and that's how kings were born. That's how we got kings, is because somebody said that they were better at something, more entitled to something, and that's like where we're at today is this stupid false system of meritocracy.
Yep.
Minnesota
Well,
is too close to call. But see, the media, the problem with the media is
listen, the media.
no, the problem with the media is that they always talk about it this way because it's like a sports game to them. They don't give a shit about keeping us informed. They just want to draw us in, so we watch their coverage and see an ad for Viagra or whatever.
I'm gonna tweet. No, I shouldn't do that.
Where you
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna. Let me just test it out and see how it looks. No, because I think I was gonna make a joke on that Uncut Gems tweet that I retweeted. Or is watching Uncut Gems to relax, and I was just gonna write. No, I shouldn't write. I was gonna write masturbating to relax, but I think that's too much. Looks like I'm a blue check porn account. I was working with a guy. I was asking if he was on Twitter, and he's like, "I only use Twitter for porn."
Twitter. I don't think I've ever like anytime I see. I don't like porn in my Twitter space. I don't know about you, but it's like I don't want my politics mixed up with my porn.
See, I don't look at porn on Twitter, but I have mutuals and friends that are like porn creators. I don't know if they call themselves. I don't know if they call it porn or you call it whatever OnlyFans or I'm not sure what. I don't know what the self distinction is, but I mean they post nakeds, but they also have like subscriptions and stuff. But what's really interesting, other one that I've mutuals with or follow, they're all like socialist slash porn creators. So I think that they're doing a form of praxis by getting everybody's attention and then just talking about socialism.
Well, wasn't like the biggest donator to the serfs for the longest time, Xander Corvus?
Who's that?
He's like a porn star, and
Really?
yeah, and it was like for the longest
Oh, that's
time their
interesting.
video always ended to our Lord Xander Corvus or whatever the guy's name is.
Oh, that's right. I didn't
he
know who
he
that
was
was.
he is a porn star,
That's
and
awesome.
so and but I don't think he's there anymore. I think that the serfs are cleaning up their act. So
Well, were they really dirty before?
No, I'm just
Or is
saying
there,
that I don't
or is
know. I
like a
mean,
lot of
there are
porn
probably some
adjacent?
people. There are probably some people on the left. I mean, porn does have some kind of objectionable elements in terms of like consent and people working. Like if you know the Mia Khalifa story about how they
Yeah,
basically
yeah, yeah.
fucking totally exploited her and made millions of dollars off of her and kind of just changed the course of her life because of
Yeah.
one decision. So
Yeah. But I mean, like, more like OnlyFans types have a little bit more control. And I mean, I have mixed feelings on it because OnlyFans got really huge during when? During COVID, when everybody was fucking broke and scared. And so, like, well, I see there's a lot of people that are very pro OnlyFans because they have a higher, like, oop, what happened?
I don't know. I just said I must have hit a key
Cat?
and
Cat trying to get in?
no, just
I see a lot of,
Trump's going to win
oh,
North Carolina. They're saying so.
oh, wonderful. Um, there's a lot of people that are very like pro OnlyFans because they do a much fairer split out of all like the content platforms. I think like, you keep like 80% of the money you make, only 20% goes to the company, which is like better than any other platform. Um, but I feel very mixed about that because there is some element of that it's like people got into OnlyFans because they lost their fucking jobs during COVID and had no way to like feed their kids. And now that inflation is so high, like everyone needs to have 3 jobs, and one of them is showing your asshole to strangers. I mean, like, yes, happy for the money coming in, but it's also like, at, can you 100% guarantee that's not under duress that you have
Yeah,
to do that?
yeah, for sure.
You know, and you're like, that's exploitation to me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I'm glad you're getting a better split than like YouTube, but it's also like, and you're probably not getting as abused as on Pornhub or whatever.
Yeah, like all things
But
being
like,
equal, is this what they would have chose to do
yeah, like if
for
money
the
didn't
same
exist,
wages?
what would
Yeah,
you be doing?
yeah.
If money didn't exist and you were doing that anyway, God bless you. We love you.
Yeah.
But if it's like, if people are trapped into it, which a lot of folks are, uh, yeah, I don't care how fucking good that split is. Like,
Mm-hmm.
fix everything else. So that at least that becomes an option that's just like something you're really passionate about. Great. But if you're not, but if you're like kind of like forced into it because of the situations that we're all trapped under, then like, yes, I don't like that at all.
Well, and there's been a lot, like historically, there's been a lot of that where the woman is basically just exploited into the situation, and it's not something she did voluntarily. I mean, historically, that was like the trend, like the very first, porn movie, Deep Throat, with Linda Lovelace. Like she afterwards, she really regretted what she did, and so you have to.
Did they make a movie about the behind the scenes of that movie? I think they did, right? There's a movie about it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm positive because she's a figure that.
And it's a
The,
famous story about it.
yeah, and
Yeah.
about have a woman having a clit in her throat. Deep Throat. Sorry, you said it was a famous story. That was the plot of Deep Throat, was that she had her G spot was in her throat.
No, that really?
Yeah, that's what the story is. We'll have to watch it on stream sometime.
Oh my god.
No, but so like with porn, you do have to really deal with issues of consent. Like, I mean, if you've read feminist theory, there's like Andrea Dworkin said that all intercourse between men and women is rape because of the balance, the imbalanced power dynamic. That no matter what, women are always unequal, so they can never consent to having sex, and that's a really extreme position to take. But
It's an extreme one, but like you can take like you can hear it and interpret it and kind of see where they're coming from. Like we don't live in a society. I wouldn't. I mean, I'm a guy, so what am I gonna do? Say that's true? Like we're all rapists, you know what I mean? But like, I mean, if we live in a patriarchal society, there has to be like some small measure of like, yeah, there's other things at play here than just like flat out equality and consent. You know, so it's like the solution to that is, instead of being mad at that guy for having that observation, who made that? Sorry if it was not a guy.
Andrea Dworkin, she's a
Okay, she.
yeah.
Oh, Andre. Okay. Yeah. Rather than be mad at her for saying something like that, fucking delete patriarchy and just like don't have to worry about it anymore. work on like fixing like the crux of the problem.
Once you start thinking like, and that's the problem with like the right is like nothing they do factors into consent, like whether somebody
Yeah.
wants to be in that situation. It's always a matter of force because they're fascists. But once you start thinking about consent, it like drives you crazy because as human beings, we don't consent to be born, but yet we have to get jobs. It's like your parents fuck, and then you're the one that ends up having to get a job because your parents fuck. That seems like a very unfair situation, right?
Yeah.
So, um, don't think about consent. Is the or you'll go crazy.
Don't think. Okay.
You'll go crazy. No,
I'm gonna clip that.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how I feel with the whole vote. I mean, because we're in the middle of election night, but like, it's kind of how I feel with the voting thing. It's like, I see a lot of people really pissed off at each other. I mean, I'm online a lot, so it's like that's where I primarily see it. I don't see it as much in real life, of course. But a lot of people kind of vote shaming each other from every direction. My experience is more like the like liberal to communist spectrum. I'm not hanging on the right wing circles as much or at all. But I see like people vote shaming in the left for wanting to vote third party or refusing to vote in this election given the circumstances. And then I see a lot of people on the left vote shaming liberals or people voting for Harris or whoever because of what's happening in Gaza.
yeah.
And so, but it's like, listen, all of you, it's first of all, we didn't fucking choose to be born and have to live in this fucking country. We're all trying to make like the best decision that we can given the information that we have, and the system that we have that's totally not democratic, like in the way that we wish it was. And this is we have this like small opportunity to maybe change something a little bit, and everyone's taking their best guess at it, but ultimately it's none of our fucking faults. Like, we're not in those rooms. We're not Joe Biden just signing off to send billions and billions of our fucking bucks to go kill kids overseas. Like, we're not. No normal person is doing that. So like, reserve your ire, man. It's nobody's fault. That's a normal everyday working person. I mean, if you're gonna be mad up. I don't like to see that stuff because like,
Yeah.
if shit goes to hell, like, hey, look at the election map right now. We're trending in that direction. If shit goes to hell, who are you going to rely on? It's not going to be a politician or a rich guy that comes to save you. It's going to be your fucking neighbor. It's going to be your coworker. It's going to be your buddy on Discord. That's got to help you out. I mean, that's who's donating to all our medical GoFundMe's is normal people. So like, keep your powder dry for when the rich guys coming around and try to ruin everything. Every time you want to yell at a normal person, go yell at Elon Musk.
Yeah, that's how I feel, and I feel like my partner went out and did door-to-door work because she's so panicked, and she got all the information. She wanted to do it in our neighborhood because she wanted to meet the neighbors and do this, but she found out like everybody around us is like Republican, and you don't want to go harass them because it's really the effort it will take to change their mind is going to be impossible, and all you're going to do is end up souring your relationship with them. So whatever happens, they're going to resent you if Kamala wins because you were the reason why Kamala won, and if the other outcome is, then they're going to dislike you no matter what. So the idea is souring your relationship with your neighbors. I do think that whenever you have a chance to start a conversation with your neighbor about these things, if it happens organically, I think that's cool. But I think the idea that you would just go out and harass them, you need to vote for this because of whatever, is not going to be effective. The place to go is to where you have like what they were doing at the DNC or whatever, was trying to hit independents up and hit people who can be moved. So
yeah,
I know it's a lot of. Oh, sorry.
That DNC was pretty off-putting though. For there's the core constituency. I mean, the Democrats have a few core constituencies because they're like they're everybody that's not Trump world right now. Like their tent's a little too big, from like Dick Cheney to Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, that's like, and that's totally off-putting. It's like,
yeah, it's like appealing to everybody by appealing to no one.
Yeah.
And so like, and that really like, for the 5 people that you get that are really excited about that, like I can't even imagine people are like my dad, for example. He was a Trump voter. I don't think he voted this time just because he's like over it. He's too old to give a shit. Um, but he's a Trump voter who also read Bernie Sanders' book and loved it. Like, but he doesn't like Dick Cheney.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Who
Like
does?
everybody in America wants change, and they want, but they're not participating, like not presenting change. You're not exciting anybody. At least Trump feels like change, even though if it's bad change, he feels like change, and he feels exciting. People want to be happy,
Yeah.
and that's not for me, but that's the vibe that people are pulling out. And like Kamala felt like that a little bit, but then and it felt like that when she was doing her brat stuff, when it was Kamala Brat Summer. That was exciting for a lot of people, and it was even exciting for me because like, oh my god, maybe there's like a sliver of a chance we could like do something a little bit better, or like we could at least beat Trump with some of this excitement because Joe Biden's fucking dying out there every day. The guy keeps dying, getting reanimated and put on TV. But then she just totally killed that momentum by being like, actually, I was just kidding. I'm actually like Liz Cheney's best friend, and that's what I'm
It
all
seems
about
like
now.
whatever momentum that she got with
Nuked it.
yeah, with even with the waltzing, it seemed like there was a lot of energy there, and it just like the DNC just knows nothing but let's go further to the center and cater to the right. It's just like that's the only way they think that they can win elections. There was no, they could have gone to the left. They could have, you know, been a little bit harder on Israel, but no, they just they
Yeah.
think that any misstep is going to lose what fractious coalition they do have.
Yeah, and I mean, to me, what this really shows is like, uh, it's maybe a side point, but like, I think that, yeah, I think Bernie really saved Joe Biden's ass, because Kamala's running as Joe Biden unadulterated. Like everything she's running on is like, with the exception of like they just proposed legal weed, but like her pivot to the center and like embracing hugging Republicans, that's like Joe Biden 101 stuff. So she's running as like Joe Biden, and Joe Biden ran as like a guy that had Bernie Sanders breathing down his fucking neck.
Yeah.
So like, and I think that's the reason that he squeaked it out, and without that extra little something, then and then you have so much working against her too. I mean, she's also a black woman, so you have double things working against you, and like hugging Republicans ain't gonna change that, but giving people a really exciting new vision for the future might. But she didn't do either of those things. I mean, well, no, she did. She did hug the Republicans, but that didn't help at all. It just reminded people of how much they hated George Bush.
Well,
Like,
there's that whole thing that people like the Lincoln Project thing where they're the principled Republicans that
more like the stinking project.
yeah, there there's a segment of people who kind of are, you know, think that that's compelling. Whereas me, I see it, it just seems like they're rebranding. They're the same people, but they want to operate in a different, like all of the former, you know, the Republicans that are on MSNBC, all those people. I have no respect for them. It's not like I'm like, oh, now they're good. Now they're on our side. They they're basically just people who are looking for a job. They don't actually have any principles. A lot of these people who are in this business
No,
don't seem,
I think they're grifting. They
yeah.
understand that like I think so. I lived in Massachusetts for a few years, and here's the thing about Massachusetts: there's nowhere I've actually know what it's true. I think it's kind of true for California too. No, it's 100% true for California too. Liberals love a sweet Republican boy. It's like a fetish.
Yeah.
So like Massachusetts, you think deep blue, right? Oh, they loved Mitt Romney. They still
Yeah.
talk about him. Love Mitt Romney. What are
Well,
you talking about, Mitt Romney? And then
yeah.
California, who do they produce? Oh, we loved us some Reagan. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
We gave America the worst guy.
Hmm.
And they had Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Gavin Newsom might as well be a Republican. Like, I don't know what it is. It's like, is it like, I think they're just built into like liberalism to an extent. Like that's why liberals or conservatives can still be married. That happens a lot.
Who's the guy from Florida, Carville and Mary Madeline? Familiar with him? James Carville, the bald guy. He was in the Clinton administration.
That
The Cajun
goblin.
guy. Yeah, he's married to like a famous CNN conservative commentator. Like they live together. Yeah. So, yeah, I couldn't imagine
Yeah.
that. To me, it's like if you're if you're not left, I can't imagine somebody's like it just blows my mind to be able to live in the same house with somebody who thinks some of that crazy shit.
Yeah. It's a. I mean, it helps when you're rich. People don't care as much about normal
Yeah,
everyday stuff when you're
yeah.
rich. Um, but that's part of the appeal of the Lincoln Project. It's just like it feels a little naughty and sexy to have like a disgusting Republican on your side. Kev, wait, is it Ann, not Ann Coulter. Wait, is it? No. Who's another famous couple? One was in the Trump admin and her husband is the Lincoln Project guy, right?
It was Kellyanne Conway and George Conway.
Yeah, they're married, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but he's still. It's not. They're still both conservative. She's just crazier conservative.
Yeah, I think they're all a grift. I've talked to them behind the scenes with a guy who's pretty well integrated in that kind of like online liberal media sphere. And he was basically just like, yeah, none of these guys give a shit. It's just like a business model, and politics is a business model. It's a niche economy that is getting bigger and bigger by the year because of Trump. But it's people running small businesses, and they find that like, oh, liberals like this kind of thing. We're going to build a business backwards from that. And like he was even like, I'm more of like a Bernie Sanders type social democrat. But he just like targets like just barely left of center liberals, left of center for America context. In his rhetoric, in his writing, in his preparation for the show, it's all geared towards them, even though his views are further to the left. So it is just an economy thing. That's why you can like, that's why one guy can be at the Lincoln Project, the other be in the Trump administration. Yeah, husband and wife team.
Yeah.
So we're not grifting hard enough, is what my message is here.
Well, that's like
We're grifting the wrong people. I keep trying to like get a socialist audience, and like we're all fucking over.
even on like the macro level, like the Trump people. I wonder how much of it is like all these people who sell Trump merchandise. How much of their enthusiasm is for Trump, based on the fact that he gave them a little business selling knickknacks and T-shirts.
And how much is the enthusiasm for just selling merchandise?
Yeah.
I think that's a big part of it. I mean, Trump, like, there's a lot of like small business people that have like T-shirt companies because of Trump. You know, and I think that's like, I don't know. Trump and Trump world is good at that kind of stuff. And Democrats are really, really not. Not that I love Democrats or anything, but like I would like to not have Trumps win. So you should be better at this kind of shit. The left should be better at this kind of shit, to be honest. Like
Well,
I think like the left in America has like an aversion to like stuff like that, small businesses making money, because we associate money, like everybody in America, like I guess being on the left, kind of we associate money with like evil, and yes, but also like that's like the dominant power structures in America. So we should have. My most controversial take is that we should have like some big socialist co-op businesses to counteract all this shit. Like fight on the terms that this country actually accepts. Just make it a co-op, and that's socialism right there. If every business is a co-op, you've got socialism. We won. So my pitch to the left, if Harris would have won, hopefully she still does, would have been like, okay, take that fucking $50,000 small business tax break and go start a co-op immediately. whatever you're good at, whatever industry. We're in video. Okay, let's start a co-op right away. If you're a socialist cook, go start a food cart. Whatever, just like get a bunch of co-ops going and be better than everybody else and beat them at their own game. Because we can. We're smarter than them.
Yeah, it's interesting because I like do most people like the idea of bosses and middle management, because that's essentially the antithesis of socialism, right? It's that you have the big guy who is final no matter what, no matter how disconnected he is from everything down at the bottom that you do, and then you have all the middle managers who are like just like the dogs in Animal Farm. You know, they're willing to do whatever cruel thing just because they're getting the good meat.
Yeah, I mean that's the structure, right? So,
have we been paying attention to the chat? Because I'm sort of
I just jump back in. Brian says DJ the DJT stock is going nuts, and then also he's 2 bottles of wine deep, and he loves us. We love you too, Brian.
Yeah, love you.
I'm about sure. Half a Arizona iced tea deep.
I was about to go get a beer. Is it okay to drink beer on live stream? I have no idea.
What are you worried about? You gonna get arrested?
No, I just that I don't want to get my channel messed up. But I guess you said yeah. Alex was he was going hard on his channel. So.
Alex was doing dabs for donations. By the way, we'll do dabs with donations. Just hit that donation button. Wait, you set up to take donations?
Yeah, I'm set up for super chats, but I got one super chat so far, or super
you
thanks.
Got a super chat? I didn't get any super chats.
I got a super thanks from a cool guy.
Wait, I think I might have once, but on a video, not a live. Wait, yeah. Can you get them on videos? Wait,
yeah, if you can have it just as super thanks. It's just a little clicky thing, and somebody can send you money. But then it's like YouTube takes so much of it, it's like not worth it. You have to pay the tax
Apple
on it.
Apple takes a lot of it too now.
Yeah. So
that's happening with Patreon. They take a cut they're starting to take a cut of your Patreon money if you use an Apple device.
Really? How would they? How do they even get in there?
I think it's like a tax on the payer. So it's like.
Oh, okay.
So it's not a tax on me as a creator. It's a tax on somebody who's like sending money.
That's fucking nuts, man. That's.
Brian says he doesn't. Brian's 2 bottles of wine deep, and he's asking where the super chat button is.
And isn't there?
Brian, I think there's $100 option. Don't do it, Brian. You're 2 bottles of wine deep.
What are you drinking? Are you drinking Merlot? Merlot's
yeah, tell us what kind of wine you're drinking. Was
it a classy bottle of wine?
It's the Trader Joe's $5 Our Daily Red.
$5 Chuck.
$5 Chuck. Is it still $5 after inflation?
It used to be called $3 Chuck. So
now it's $8 Chuck.
Yeah. So.
Arizona still 99 cents on the can. Like that's like, rare to praise a company, but like, thanks. You know.
I was gonna bust out my beer. I think New Belgium is a co-op, isn't it? New Belgium.
Is it? That I want to start a. Here's an idea Here's an idea terminal. We talk about this sometimes. Like, I want to infect different spaces with our ideology, and like where it's seriously lacking is like the business space. And so I'd like to find a way to do some like more business related content and get in those algorithms and talk our shit.
With Levi.
Yeah. Socialist tech entrepreneur.
I got some bad news for you, Justin. Some terrible news. So New Belgium, which I think New Belgium made Flat Tire too, but they make Voodoo Ranger, which is like my favorite. It's like a 9.0 ABV IPA. They were a worker co-op, but then the worker co-op didn't work out.
Did they dissolve, or just like?
It just means worker co-ops don't work. So, what happened? Just like in Cuba, communism did not work because it was unfettered communism. There was no meddling. Yeah. It wasn't just like in this. The co-op failed just because it was socialist. It had nothing to do with all the external forces.
They did the Bay of Pigs on the dock of the brewing company.
I don't know what. I just looked it up. I'm not sure the full not sure the full story, but it said that they were acquired by Lion Little World Beverages. So
Oh, well, maybe the co-op voted to sell out. If that's okay, I'm okay. I'm like, that's a gray area, but I'm like kind of okay with that. If the co-op voted to sell out and just like cash in, and they all made out, I'm okay with that. I mean, I wish it's
Little World Beverages, a subsidiary of Japan's Kirin Holdings.
Wow, there's only like 5 beer companies now. Wait, isn't it? Who's the other big one? Who is Busch the other big one that owns a bunch? Who owns Bud Light? Who owns Bud? Who owns Budweiser? It is InBev. Anheuser-Busch. Anheuser-Busch owns. Holy shit. Terminal, let me send you this link. This is capitalism.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to send you this link. It's the capitalism.com. I'm going to send you a direct TM.
Well, it just
Check
isn't
this.
that kind of like the Borg in Star Trek. They were just this massive thing that just basically absorbs everything. Although
That's
capitalists aren't as
everything,
cool as the
though.
Borg, though.
This is who Anheuser-Busch owns. You ready for this? Tell me when to stop.
Well, you want me to? I can put it up. I can pull it up.
Yeah.
So where's
I
the
just
list?
sent it to you in the our DM on Discord.
I need to know if Chesley was showing up because I talked to him a little bit and I asked him if he was gonna.
I love Chubbs.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
So
I didn't want to.
I'm glad he's like not as engaged on Twitter though.
Well, that's what I'm kind of worried about because I think your life gets better the more removed you get from those things and the more connected you are locally rather than to this. So I didn't want to drag him into this if I was just going to send him spiraling back down into despair like me.
Name a beer.
A beer company?
Name a beer.
A beer?
Like a beer brand that you know.
Blue Moon.
You can't name one beer?
Blue Moon. I can name lots of beer, but they're all weird beers. Firestone. It's a company.
That's a tire.
Yeah.
Come on, that's a tire.
No, Firestone. Isn't it? Is it Firestone?
No, not owned by Bush. But tell me when you get that up. I'm looking at this and really stunned. Look at this fucking. Sorry, I'm swearing so much on this stream.
You can find this.
Right. I got a little. That's a little bit of the main in me. If I start swearing a lot, that's when the main starts coming out. Fucking Jesus, fucking Christ. Ain't this fucking stupid?
I'll leave it here. I'm totally messing up our stream here.
All right, I want to start lifting off or blast off. Ready?
Let me. Just give me a second. You gotta.
I've given you.
Boomer stream. You're gonna have to hold on. Come on.
Uncle.
I gotta. It's harder to get through these things through my AOL connection.
Yeah,
so,
and plus you have arthritis.
Yes, and gout. I came out on gout.
Oh, so, my father-in-law has gout. It actually sucks. So you're big, like you eat too much meat, and like your body produces, I think it's not citric acid, some kind of acid, and it builds up, and you're literally just in your big toe, and it's super painful.
All right, let's see. Did I?
Oh yeah, you got it up.
Well,
you got it up.
Here, how about that?
Listen, Brian, it's not just potty mouth. It's like that's part of the accent. It's like you use fucking like the word how people use you use fucking or like a comma. That's just part of the accent.
Is this up for you, Justin?
Yeah, look at this. This is who Anheuser-Busch owns. Are you kidding me? Budweiser, Bud Light, Busch, obviously, Stella Artois, Corona. Let's see, European brands. We've got, who do I recognize? I'm not a big beer guy, but look at all these brands. Who do I know? Beck's. They own Beck's. They own Hoegaarden. Who else do I know? I mean, you can see on the screen yourself all kinds of European brands, and they have, I don't know if you're scrolling or nocturnal, but they have a bunch of Asian brands.
I'm on the Asian brands right now.
Yeah. So. Cass is Cass non-alcoholic? I forget. I think it's alcoholic. Yeah, and all these American brand. Oh, the Americas. This is like Central and South America, I guess. Patagonia beer. They just own too much. This should be illegal. This is too much.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is so depressing seeing this kind of
It's
stuff.
weird because it says the Americas. Or is this?
I think they mean like Central and South America. Rolling Rock, though.
Are you talking about the angry video game nerd beer, Rolling Rock?
I don't know
It must be the Americas includes North America too, then, because Four Peaks.
I don't know how they're divvying this up.
Four Peaks is in Arizona, and it is weird that they're owned an Arizona Brewing Company owned by, yeah.
They own Golden Road. Oh, they have a Golden Road brewery here in LA.
Well, that's the thing. Like one of the beers got sued, the one that I mentioned, Blue Moon, because they tried to
For what?
market. They tried to market their beer like it was an independently owned, but it's owned by Anheuser-Busch, something like that. But they presented it like it was just an indie beer,
Indie beer.
you know,
Like
or
a coffee house beer.
yeah. So I got to figure out how to get off this stream again here. All right, so are we back here off that? That was really cool how I pulled that up. That was like this live stream is really going places with that kind of.
I think this is like the best production that we've done. And by that I mean you.
It's not, but
Karen messaged us two blue hearts and a wave. I guess that's a blue wave. I don't know if that's happening, Karen. Sorry to say.
it still can happen. Like all the time, it's
A blue wave?
No, not a blue wave. Definitely not at this point. I
Ay,
would
ay,
think
ay.
you probably, especially
caramba.
losing North Carolina.
Let's refresh these results here. Oh, not looking good. Pennsylvania, 86 reporting, 86% still losing by almost 3%.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, the inner.
But it's only 100,000 votes, or 200,000 votes,
Yeah.
ish. But I mean, 86% reporting. I know what you're anticipating,
I'm not anticipating. I'm not.
or like what you're.
I'm not
implying.
coping either. I'm just saying that the last few times was always a situation where you woke up. Like maybe there's like 3 times you woke up and the outcome was different than what it was when you went to bed.
Does Ohio usually go by like 9 points?
I don't
I thought it
know.
was closer usually.
Well, you got JD Vance there. That's probably partly why.
Oh, he's in Ohio. He's the king of Ohio.
Yeah, that's probably why they picked him. I think that was a nice gulp that we heard there on stream.
Did you get that? You should
Yeah.
record that. on your
This
second.
is the best your mic has been. Maybe. This is the most refreshing live stream we've ever done too. So,
We gotta get sponsored. That's just like, so we talked about this before, but I've done a little bit of work with Means TV and partnered with them on some releases. If you don't know if you're watching, you don't know what Means TV is. It's a co-op, but it's a streaming service. It's really cool. You should check it out. But they're very like anti-capitalist, so they don't do like any advertising or anything like that. And I kind of wish they would. They don't have to do like, Anheuser-Busch advertising, but there's like so many like small like co-ops. Like they should advertise other co-ops. That would be sick.
yeah.
Extra revenue coming in. Anyway, side note. If you are a socialist business owner, get to know every other socialist business owner.
That's
Partner.
That's
and
like a
strengthen numbers. Start a secondary economy that's just for us.
here in Arizona. I don't know if there's even such a thing.
I mean, there's probably some kind of co-op situation.
yeah,
In Tempe.
yeah. In Sedona. No, not in Sedona.
No, Sedona.
Down in Tempe.
Ruthless capitalists there. But they have magic crystals.
Yeah.
Probably a little brewing company or something. Like, yeah, but maybe they don't have a lot of money to give you to sponsor our stream here. But if they gave us like $10 to drink a beer on camera, I'd do it.
Well, I'm telling you that the beer company in Tempe was Four Peaks, that one that was owned by Anheuser-Busch, because Incubator
Like
lived
sellouts.
in the warehouse next door to them when they moved in and got started. So they were like an independent group at first, but like everything, they just get bought up and then they become part of the empire.
Oh, I see. Side note, I see Alex Novell, his documentary, and looking at his numbers, just came up as a recommended video. 53K, not doing
53K.
too bad.
I
He
wonder
needs
how
a
he
lot
feels
more.
about that though.
Like, do you think he thinks what?
I
Do you think
just
it's not
wonder
enough?
if like
I think it's not. It hasn't been promoted. It needs some coverage or something.
there's no way to donate. There's no way to donate, but I mean, you don't have to because I'm clearly not doing this for the money. But
I think
there's a,
it's usually next to the chat. I think, right?
it's on the, yeah. Let's hold on.
I don't see it. Oh, we can pop out chat. That's really helpful.
That's what I did.
That's smart. But then it still keeps that stupid thing on.
Oh, maybe it's not turned on for the live stream. Maybe I didn't turn it on.
Turn it on. We're too late now, but you should turn it on.
Yeah.
Brian's drunk and wants to give us lots of money. Turn it on.
There
Turn
is
it on, Turtle.
there is the Patreon too. The Patreon you can just, I think you can just do a one-time donation through Patreon too.
Word. Brian's a follower on Patreon. Thanks, Brian.
He's not a follower on my Patreon, so
Well,
he doesn't follow the real Patreon,
yeah, the real sauce.
the one that only has one. And it's weird because if you don't ask, you don't do it either. Like if you ask people,
Yeah.
that's the whole thing. If you ask people to do it, they will follow through. But if you're a person who doesn't like that feeling of constantly asking, then you don't
Yeah.
ever get it. Like I had somebody
I
on Reddit ask, they're like, "Do you have a Patreon? I'd really like to do this." But once they ask, it's too much of an inconvenience for them to go back and look and then actually sign up for the Patreon. So
I feel like I haven't built, and this is something I want to do for like phase two of, what we're trying to build here. As I feel like I just put out these little clips, but there's no like larger housing for it. And if there was larger housing for it, like a show or something, right? At the end, it's so much easier to be like, "Hey, sign up on Patreon, follow, support
yeah,
us." But if I do if I put out a 1 minute video, then I follow it with a 1 minute beg for money, it feels stupid. So,
yeah. That's why the only Patreon I have, I was like giving him special props, but then I started to have regrets about that because I was like, dude, I like sometimes do some controversial stuff. I don't want to have the focus be you. I don't want to get you in trouble and have you
that's how I
think.
feel too.
So I'm like, I gotta mix it up with other people, and so I put you and Chudsley and Incubator in there just so he doesn't feel, picked out.
Yeah,
So
yeah. But I'll try to do something that's like, because I've never done anything where I'm like, oh, won't be controversial at all.
yeah, yeah,
And this won't get anybody in trouble. So I feel really bad like throwing a bunch of names. Like, a lot of times like people, and a lot of people can appreciate that, but I'm also a little bit hesitant to do it because what if I put out something that like really pisses people
yeah.
off?
Well,
Like,
it's like you're
or like not every person's the same. So like some of my stuff's pretty divisive. So like if somebody is a supporter and I throw their name on something that they regret, I
Yeah.
feel bad
I
about
mean,
that
it's like
too.
your BB video. On one hand, there
Yeah.
are probably some people who would appreciate it and have no regrets about it, but other people may agree with it, but don't necessarily want.
I want their name on it.
And here's his address and Social Security. Why don't you go pay him a visit? And
Yeah.
tell him how much we appreciated his support, her
Yeah. I
support.
mean, I already hesitate putting my own name on this stuff. I'm mixed feelings about it because I feel like we're in a time that appreciates more realness. So like hiding behind like a brand name, I'm a little bit hesitant to do because I want to be part of the trend of like we're getting to know each other over the internet. um, and but at the same time, like the stuff that I make, I feel like I'm never gonna be able to get a job if people search my name and see like the crazy shit that I've made. If I because it's not like I have to still work. I have to help support a family. So it's like I can't always be throwing around Justin T. Brown, and like my latest video is about BB and like the atrocities happening in Gaza, and like that's the first thing that comes up when I search my name, potential like employer. So it's like, I don't know, mixed feelings about it. Maybe I'll just
Well,
change my real name.
that's
I'll change my
another-
real. Justin Brown will be the online guy, and I'll legally change my real name to something else.
Kindler. You Kindler. Legally change your name to Kindler. You just have to
Yeah.
disassociate from the other stuff. I'm Kindler, but I'm not that Kindler.
Yeah.
And Brian, if you sign up for my Patreon, you can promote whatever you want and however you want to be in my end credits. For now, I don't know if it's ever going to go anywhere, but for now, whatever kind of credit you want or whatever kind of thing you want to promote, feel free to tell me. And however, and I like to do little flares at the end where the person gets their name
Yeah.
written out in my font or whatever. So it's
awesome.
fun. It's fun for me, but I never want to get somebody tangled up in something that might be controversial. So.
Yeah.
Like the Elon Musk thing, I think some people cheese some people off. Oh, that was really bad that you murdered a human being like that. And I'm like, well, The Simpsons did it all. The Simpsons did it all the time. Like they had that one where they turned the inside out, and
They do some pretty grotesque stuff sometimes.
yeah. And the thing is that Scratchy hasn't caused as much harm as Elon. So what's the matter if you're okay with them killing Scratchy all the time? Then Elon deserves it. So.
I think they usually have the person's permission, right? They're more formal. Like South Park, they'll just steal your.
What do you mean they're more formal on?
Like with the Simpsons.
No, I think generally they have like he's a guest. Like when he was on the show, he was just the guest star.
That's what I mean. Yeah, so it's not like when they have permission to like kill somebody, it's not like they have permission. It's not just them just doing it like like we do it. I'm looking a different direction now because I had to switch over to my laptop.
Do you want me to? I'm going to do this to you here.
Does it look fun? Does it look like you're just sitting behind me talking?
No, here, watch. Check it out. I'm going to transform you. There you go. Now I flipped you, so now you're. Actually, I think you're facing the right direction now. So.
Cool.
What we started talking about Simpson thing. If you want to switch and we could not focus on the election for a bit, we could go through some of that stuff in that video if you still had questions about it.
Yeah.
Let me take a quick break.
Watch something fun.
Yeah, let me take a quick break. I'm gonna give you. It's just gonna be your face, so you're gonna have to come up with a cool story to tell. So, you're the star of this. You're the star of the show. I'll be right back.
No. You bastard. I am actually nervous to do like the solo streams. I watch solo streamers, but I don't know if that's for me. I like being in conversation. Let's check in the results. Let's see where we are. I don't. Brian, you said DJT was doing good. It doesn't look like it's doing good. Were you just joking? But it looks like it. Maybe tomorrow it'll do good. Because I guess the market's closed now. Maybe it'll spike tomorrow. Oh, Brian wants the link. Let's wait till terminal mode gets back, Brian. I'm not sure how this one. I think works differently, so we'll have to ask him how to do it. I think we can, but we just needs to be the one to facilitate it. But we want to have you in. We love you. And I can't wait to see you 2 bottles of wine deep. All right, election results. Harris 210, Trump 230, 270 to win. All the swing states go into Trump, it looks like, with Pennsylvania 86% reporting Trump up. But I mean, they're not that far away in vote totals, and not many people vote. I could still flip Harris by the time it's all counted, but yeah, Georgia doesn't look good either. Again, only 130,000 votes away from each other, but hopefully the cities save us.
North Carolina's a toss-up. It's supposed to be a toss-up state, though.
Yeah, North Carolina looks like 93% reporting Trump up by almost 3 points.
Okay.
But again, only a little over 100,000 votes difference. Man, these elections are close, huh? Nail biters. It's exciting, but like in a way that's too real. like an excitement that doesn't come from joy, an excitement that comes from fear.
What's the excitement that's going on?
Oh, how what a nail biter the election is.
Oh, it's always this. It's been like this for a while.
Yeah, it's painful, and it's like, yeah,
Well, and the thing that kind of
it,
sucks is that it's always a nail biter, but the candidate there's not enough difference between the candidates to really affect real change in the way we want it. It's always in the
yeah,
negative. We just a
yeah.
further shift to the right.
It's a meme, but it's harm reduction. Just you know, it is what it is. Just because we criticize it and point it out doesn't mean it's not real. Um, yeah, man.
So
I feel like things would not get better, but at least remain as bad as they are and not get worse with Harris. I had no faith that like I don't have any faith anyway that a politician will just make things better. That's a ridiculous thing to think because we've done it all. Everything that is good about this country have been made by people, and we forced it upon the quote unquote leaders of this country since the beginning. So if anything you like about America, just remember that normal people did it, not the damn politicians. But I just don't think
Come on,
Harris would
come on.
attack us as much, and she won't get in the way as much. She won't get in the way of unions as much as Trump would. She won't get in the way, even if she does crackdowns on the protests and everything that are happening for Palestine on campuses, or if we have another like BLM, there'll still be a level of crackdown. But again, it won't be as bad or as difficult as if Trump was in that position, because Trump viscerally hates us. Harris doesn't really think about us at all. Doesn't give a shit. Doesn't care that we exist. Or at least that's how she's running this campaign. But Trump actively hates us, and his base actively hates us. And he's like courting neo-Nazis and Groypers and QAnon and shit. And Elon Musk fucking hates trans people. Oh my God, hates. And so like, if you're given the choice to like try to make the fight to make things better under one regime or the other, you want the regime that's going to kill you less. And that's what Harris is in this election. Trump will kill us more, she'll kill us less. And we want somebody that will we want somebody we can beat in the long term. And I don't think we can beat Trump. I think Trump's too powerful. I've said this a lot on Twitter, but he's like Uncle Sam. He's like the embodiment of everything that we hate about America, all the bad stuff. He's like the chosen one. He's the American xenomorph, the perfect specimen. And you put a guy like that in like the captain's chair with a powerful narrative. He's already a media guy and a salesman. This is already his thing. That he knows how to like build culture and control culture. But now he's got an amazing story.
By being shot in the air?
Right, yeah, and then he's also the comeback kid.
I don't know. Has it happened? Maybe once.
Right, but if he wins, he'll be the comeback kid. He's a guy that survived all the assassination attempts, got shot in the head, like you can say ear, but that's ear's part of his head. It's an appendage. But now he has this great narrative too.
No. Oh.
Uh-oh.
My cat's crawling on top of the computer.
Oh no. He's already a billionaire, which means you're God in America. He's a white guy. He's a fucking landlord, and so like, he's already at the top, and then he's surviving the assassination attempts, and he's gone to be president twice and shit. And he's a fucking right-wing demagogue, outcome a fascist that hates the left. He's going to be way too powerful for us.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I'm really worried about. And Harris, Biden, not Obama, because he has a special charisma that he's like 1 in a million. But like, they have the cultural impact of like a wet sock, right? And I don't think that, like, if we apply pressure in big ways, like a BLM style event, again, we have a better chance of like making progress with someone like with a total wet sock in the driver's seat of the country, rather than like American superhero.
Do you think so? I mean,
Homelander.
some people do make the argument that Trump will make things so bad that the reaction to him will affect greater change. I'm not sure I buy it.
I don't think
but
so. No, because I think he like no.
I
I
just
mean,
think,
I see where they're coming from. 'Cause they make the division. They change where the line of the division is, right? Liberals feel like they're more on our side, and vice versa. The left and liberals feel like they're on the same side when someone like Trump is in office.
well, we went through this in 2000 with Bush, like the second term. Like the first Bush term was bad, but then the second term, like people were also crying about because they didn't want an extension of the Bush policies that were horrific. But there were people saying at the time that he needed more time to destroy America so we'd come back. And then kind of like things really did get fucked up in 2008. And then it looked like we had prospects for hope with Obama, but then the country went full neolib with all the people from Harvard that he brought in to run the country. I mean, he really did make it on some levels worse because he gave Wall Street more control over people's lives than previously under the previous administrations.
Yeah. Brian wants a lot of him.
Oh, he should be able to join the stream.
Yeah.
It's
he has 2 bottles of red wine.
Oh my God.
Song for us.
If he's
I would love to hear that.
If he's half in the bag with a walrus on his head, he's gotta be in. Give me a second. I'm gonna switch to just Justin here. Just Justin.
I've been caught.
It's I'm such a boomer here.
Yeah, that's true.
So I asked Terminal. I said, "Would you like to produce a YouTube show? I'll pay you money to produce a show because I just
like not your yes, but not yours."
Yeah, just really that. She just thinks I'm so uncool. I was like, all you have to do is go into OBS and you can manage because she does this for her Twitch streams. And I'm like,
Yeah.
You could do this, and you could also put it on your resume that you did this really cool show, and you're an awesome. And she's like, I don't think I want to do that. I'm too busy with other things. She's totally.
Iced you out.
Where's the?
Did you lose your tab again?
I'm running 3 monitors here. 2 of them are 4K, but they're like so far away I can't see them. And I'm sitting in front of a. Seriously, the resolution is so small I can't see them.
No.
Do you edit on a 4K display or do you use 1080p?
I think it's 1080p.
Yeah, I probably
I have a 4K, but
I've probably overdone my setup to the point where my eyes are so bad because of the squinting to see the 4K.
Yeah, you're
monitors.
using binoculars to look at those things. I really want one of those long single screens where it's like kind of curved.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
that's
thinking
what I really
I was thinking about doing it, but I just dropped so much money on this NVIDIA 4080 card. The card itself was $1,000.
Oh,
So-
video morning.
Well, I was asking you, what is
You mining crypto?
She was asking me, maybe we should do that with him. I'm like, no, I'm not fucking mining crypto. How do I get? I'm afraid if I mess with our stream, I'm such a boomer that if we mess it, can you link that link that I linked to you earlier? Can you send it? And
Where'd you send it to the?
I thought. Oh, is he already there? Maybe he's already in here, and I'm just not letting.
Where's the link? Terminal mode. What are you doing? We should have this like on standby.
Well, because I wasn't planning on.
What are you doing? Oh, no. I don't have it.
Didn't I link it into
boy.
chat? It's right there. No, that's the link to Patreon.
No, that's send him that link.
It's in the.
Send him the Patreon. We're sorry, Brian. Terminal mode is 180 years old.
Yeah.
The greatest generation.
The problem is I'm afraid that if I mess with the stream already, video. Okay, I think it's this, and I think the password is Termy. Try that. And you'll be in audio, I think, just as you come in. I think that it's unrestricted. The password is TERMY. And I think you
Looking
should.
at Twitter right now. Everyone looks depressed.
It was exactly this way last time. So I mean, there's a good chance Trump will win, but there's also a chance that when they count these ballots,
Squeaks it out.
yeah, in the middle of the night. Famously, he said we were winning, and then they did all the massive dumps in the middle of the night. They're going to be dumping. They're going to be dumping and dumping all over the place tonight.
I'm retweeting for the second time today the Donald Trump and Joe Biden have died video.
Did it do well? It's not perfect because Biden's not really, so
I know, because it was the line is the presidential frontrunners
yeah,
died at the same time.
yeah.
Yeah, but I think, I don't know, it gives people something.
People would have probably appreciated if you would have said Kamala, and
No,
but then
I don't think it works. It's not as funny.
yeah, it's not. But they would. There's enough fucking assholes.
Yeah, funny for Kamala would be like Kamala Harris is hired a third shooter. Wait, there was already 3, right?
There,
Trump assassination attempts.
well, there was the one guy who got shot, and then there was one guy who got arrested when he ran away, and the third guy was actually a Trump guy. He was like what was that? What's the group? It's not the Proud Boys, but the other one, Sovereign Citizens.
The Sad Boys.
Sad Boys. Brian, did you get that?
Brian's passed out on the couch.
Did he really say it was Trader Joe's, or did you just make that up?
No, I lied about that.
Okay.
He said it. No, he actually named it. I was joking. He said Cab Swab. I don't know anything about. And a Zinfandel brand is Lapis Luna. I don't know anything about wine.
I like Cabernet. Cabernet. I was drinking when I was wine drinking. It was Cabernet and Merlot. Zinfandel. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
I wasn't gonna say anything.
You were gonna say some wine stuff. I want to hear your wine talk, man.
I was gonna say some. I had a little too much to smoke stuff. I said I never drank Cabernet because it sounded too much like cabinet, and it didn't sound appealing to me. That's true. So stupid. Yeah, that's stupid.
I used to drink a lot of Merlot because it like you drink one glass of Merlot and you're just in a different headspace. It's like so boozy. But I'm drinking Voodoo Ranger right now. Look at this. Oh, I can't. I'm not on stream. I can't
You've been off stream so long. I've been just monologuing.
Hey, quit scratching that.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scratch it.
I'm back. Okay. So I was.
There he is.
There it is.
Oh, it'd be fun if it got green screened out.
It is. Look at that. That's cool. Look at that.
Wait. I'm looking at not the stream. Looking at. I can only see your green screen. Wait, no, because you're not doing anything on the green screen, right? Oh, you are. Oh, wait, hold it up again. No, wait, it's on delay. Oh, okay, I see it now. That is cool.
This is 9% ABV. So I mean, a Merlot is generally like 13. So this is like close to wine, but it's not probably as pleasurable as wine.
I like how spooky he looks. Cool and spooky.
The Imperial IPA guy.
Yeah, with the Elvis sunglasses.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
The New Belgium used to be a workers' co-op, but socialism doesn't work. So they had to shut down shop. They had to close it up. Bring a boss back in there.
Cancel. Listen, yeah. Get us a rich guy. We need a rich guy here.
It's funny because like whenever you talk to anybody who's worked for if you know the boss, you almost always hate the boss. And if you know the
Yeah.
like, it was just when I went to dinner with my friend, who's the AI guy. He was just talking about how he used to be a waiter for a chicken wings restaurant, and he was like, the people that owned the
Mhm.
place were the worst, most exploitive people you could ever imagine.
Yeah. That's why we need more capitalism.
Where's Brian?
I
Or
think Brian passed out on the couch.
did he?
I think he's cooked.
Did he give that $45 Patreon donation first? 'Cause that'll make
Brian, wake up, honey.
that'll make
That-
Incubator so happy every time like something like that happens. She's like, "Oh, we got a $2 super chat," and I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah. She's like, thank you. Let me put on my monitor again. I think I charged up my.
I'm ready to stream this Elon thing and talk about it if you want to.
Yeah.
But
do it.
again, we could also hold off and we could redo this thing on your channel because it'd be cool if we had it in both places and we can cut up stuff and because I wanted to use it kind of for tutorial type stuff too, but you know.
Yeah, I mean,
So whatever you want
Yeah,
to
what
do.
time is
It
it?
was your idea. I don't want to steal it. Just like doing a
well, it's your
stream.
content that I'm trying to steal. Wait, I switched positions now. Which way I'm
Oh,
looking?
no, hold on. Let me just flip you because it also makes you look weird too. When it's like that Trump when you reverse Trump so he could talk to Trump, he gets that weird.
It's like a little bit of an uncanny valley.
Yeah, your United States flag right now is going in the opposite direction that it should be.
Wow, that's a fine detail. You remember?
I'm a detail guy. That's all I noticed.
I'm
I know.
not.
Yeah, you have to be.
That's an effort for me. I think it's automatic for you. I'm a big picture guy automatically. Yeah, but fine detail stuff is where I really get bogged down. It's a need to do thing. It's not a good at it thing.
Sometimes have you ever been like when I was doing the Elon Musk video, it was all small details and I fucking hate small details. But sometimes you can get in the zone where it was just like drawing. I was just constantly having to reanimate frames and it became like a zen like activity for me.
Yeah.
It was just like sometimes you can get in a state where you just do a repetitive behavior. Maybe it's autism though. I don't know. You just do repetitive behavior over and over and it's actually enjoyable. Stimming.
Yeah, I mean, that's a joy of like drawing and shit. It's not the picture at the end. It's kind of a long process it takes to get there. I don't know. I hate that part though. I
Yeah.
hate the whole Like I'm an
Yeah.
editor who doesn't like editing. Don't tell anybody. It's I can do it, and it's a function to tell a story. I like telling stories. I like making shit up. I like lying. It's fun, lying for a good cause. But
Are you catching this news
editing.
right here? Harris
What's
will
that?
not speak until tomorrow.
Okay,
So I guess normally you're supposed to.
just bleeding confidence.
I got to switch to you because the cat wants to go out. So
Okay.
you're in charge of this.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm on.
Motivate people.
I think to what? Go out and vote. I think we might have had the stream a little too late. Oh boy. Yeah, it's not. I'm sorry to report, it's not looking great. It sucks too, because a lot of folks are scared, and they're justifiably scared. I think. I don't worry about what celebrities say and shit, but normal people are affected by this stuff. Like when Trump says he wants to ban communists and like make laws against the left, like that's us. You know what I mean?
It's absurd too
Like,
because
no matter what, and his definition of communism is probably like whatever he doesn't like, right? So that's a pretty big tent of folks that are in trouble if he wins.
that's the thing that I fucking hate is that communism actually is just working class people in America. Like the communist movement was just people like that wanted to form unions and not be exploited by bosses. It wasn't that they were atheists because most of them weren't. But the communism was demonized as this thing that is un-American because the people who run America want being, they want to enable exploitation. is the bottom line.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, but I think that it's, I mean, again, don't tell any right winger this maybe, but I think that the trek to communism does include destroying these other hierarchies that are like cultural hierarchies and societal hierarchies. Like ending racism is a project of communism. It has to be. Ending patriarchy as well. It is all communism. The right, when they say that, they don't know how right they are because they're just idiots. But that is part of the process. Because the pillars of capitalism are what, right? White supremacy, patriarchy. In this country, it's Christian nationalism. So, like, getting rid of all the pillars of capitalism, things that uphold it, that takes down capitalism too. So it's all part of the same game.
in high school, I went to a really conservative high school where I was forced to take a class called Free Enterprise. In my senior year, it was called Free Enterprise. So I had to take a class where we had to start our own businesses. And
Yeah.
in reaction to all the propaganda I got about capitalism all the time, I started to go to our library and read about socialist movements like Robert Owen and the early.
Okay.
They were building these kind of co-ops where they were working together to try to create something other than what we have, which is just a boss who's extracting the money from the people doing the work. Yeah. And one of the things that I thought about a lot when I was a kid was like, I was like, the basic family unit is a socialist unit. It's people working together. It is kind of autocratic because parents can be autocratic, but it's not one in which the parents are exploiting the kids, and putting them to work. So I always wondered how we've created a society that's structured on like just that exploitation is acceptable. That if somebody's not a family member, like generally if you exploited your family member, people would look down on you, wouldn't they? If you were like, I'm paying this person as little money as possible so I can extract the greatest amount of profit from them. Everybody would be like, you're a shitty family member if you're doing that.
Yeah, you're a bad parent.
It's true. So, but like the only reason you don't exploit other people is because they're not born into your family, and it seems just a fucking arbitrary reason to treat people like shit.
Well, we've also defined not the word family, but the meaning of us. We have varying degrees of what that means. Like the circle of us for like conservatives, right wing people is like them, and then it's a spectrum, right? Like if you're a little less like on the far right, you're like maybe the circle of us is at least your family includes you and your family, and then you keep going further to the left, and it's just like, you might consider your town us. You might consider your city us, and like the further left you go, like we're talking like we consider the whole world us.
Yeah, and I think maybe I'm reframing it a little bit, but like I don't really necessarily believe in me as like I'm not this distinct individual that has. I'm not trying to be existential here.
Yeah,
I'm not.
You're to the left of communism.
I totally am. I'm a nihilist. I'm a nihilist. The idea of me, I'm not just this person who has all these super talents who can do all these things. I'm a product of all the creative people I've read, all the creative people I've watched their works, all of the fucking mentors around me, the people who helped me become who I am. So the idea that I go through that experience and I'm like, I'm just a super genius. I deserve everything. I don't have to give anything back for what I've extracted from, the works of these people who came before me, from the works of all the teachers who made my life possible, from the people who built the fucking roads to get to the school where I went.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Well, I mean, that's all of human history is from the earliest humans to now. It's just like people think that, it's not even correct, but people say like Elon Musk invented the Tesla, right? Or Tesla car. First of all, he didn't invent shit. Fuck Elon Musk, whatever. But that car has been in the process of being made since the first caveman made the wheel, and it's been iterations by millions and millions of people over that cycle to finally arrive at like a Tesla. And so like when I imagine what communism is socialism, communism. It's basically the church of that. It's a church of people where it's like you recognize that like every single thing we have in life that is progress and that things that we enjoy and the reason that we can have the lives that we live now that were for in a lot of ways better than the previous lives that people lived is because people kept continuously building. We're an iterative species and we pass down that knowledge from generation to generation, person to person, and we're all in this like this big human mission to develop and build together. We're like ants, but we can play Red Dead Redemption too, and it's cool. And in that framework, like these guys, these billionaires, are just like they're nothing. All they do is just distract from that. When really, it's all of us collectively, since the first human learned to walk, have been doing this whole thing together. Yeah. I wish more people thought that way.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is it involves a lot of free time to think about things and really ruminate and to talk.
Yeah, you got to be real. You got to be unemployed.
No, I mean, but you have to have you have to have. I'm being serious. That if you're fucking being exploited at McDonald's or wherever, where you're there 8 days a week, or 8 days a week, if you're working all the time, you have less time you have less time to think about these things. If you don't have friends in your circle who have like read books or whatever, you don't ever hear about it. So I mean, it's part of the system is designed to push people to the point where they won't ever reach any point of class consciousness. You're just exploited to that degree that you never have any time. It's a matter of just the drudgery of waking up, going to work, and then when you come home you don't want to think about shit. You don't want to read Marx, you don't want to read anything, you don't want to have somebody lecture you about how you're being exploited. You don't want to think about that. A lot of people don't want to think about their conditions because their fucking conditions suck.
Yeah.
Thanks for the big sigh. That was supposed to be a positive, uplifting speech.
It is, no, but it is. But
No, it wasn't supposed to be uplifting. I think I leaned into the darker side of things. That's why you and I think, make a good. You're very positive.
We're yin and yang.
Yeah, you're very positive in your view of socialism, and I'm very negative in my view of capitalism. And
I think you're just talking about the same thing there.
No. My emphasis is not necessarily.
I'm more focused on one and you're focused on the other.
Yeah.
I'm
more focused on the destruction. You're more focused on the creation.
I mean, I make a lot of videos. I mean, we both do, though. Make a lot of videos about Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Prematurely passing away, we'll say.
Yeah.
The avatar of capitalism. The two like worldwide most renowned avatars of capitalism are about to become the president. I can't imagine a bigger loss.
That the worst thing is letting Elon in there and Peter Thiel. That's like the absolute, like, it's like, I don't even. That's horrific to think about. It's bad enough with Trump in there, but to have those people being able to change this government to bend it to their will is going to be like consequential forever. And it fucking sucks because I think about all my nieces. They're like, in their teens and in their 20s. Their lives are going to fucking absolutely suck. Not only because of the economic consequences, which are already dire for them, but for the things that you mentioned earlier in that tweet, that they're enabling the Andrew Tateism of culture, that women are going to have it harder, and that's why they fucking came out. And I hope to God that they affected this thing, but maybe they didn't. But shit's going to fucking suck for them if Elon Musk and Peter Thiel and those people are going to have any more control over their lives than they already do.
Yeah.
I'm making you sigh so much tonight. That was not
the point. It's not you. It's you're observing the truth, and that's the truth. Is what makes me sad. So, yeah, man, there's two things I'm thinking about right now. There's the one, how badly the Democrats can always fuck things up.
They're just terrible. They're the worst.
Yeah, the worst. But also, I mean, at some point you have to like, are you stupid or where is the line of intention? You know what I mean? Maybe it's a ridiculous question to even ask, but like, are you inept and trying to lose? Like I feel like it's both because like I don't feel like they mind losing. Um, but so how bad they fucked it up and they hit the ground running too. People were so happy Joe Biden died on TV. And then they had like the whole Kamala Brat summer and like everyone was not everyone, but like generally people were like that we breathed a collective sigh of relief that like the gears of history were moving once again.
Even like just
and potentially in a better direction.
a lot of the left who were antagonistic towards liberals in general even kind of shifted a
Yeah.
little bit. I noticed a lot of people who were very antagonistic about Joe Biden and things. The Tim Walz thing kind of was inspirational for them.
Yeah.
But I think putting Tim Walz, who probably outside of being inside the Democratic National Committee apparatus, probably is a fucking awesome person. But once you put him inside that shit, he just turns to shit. You know, because they're controlling him, they're restricting what he can say. And if they would have let him be himself and say more of what he
Which they
wanted,
did for the first like before they hired him.
yeah.
The whole like Republicans are weird thing happened like a week before he was the vice
Yeah.
president.
It's like they reined him in so they could make this thing
Yeah.
close. And I am wondering, is it a matter of do they like having these perpetual cycles where they can fundraise off the effort, and
Yeah, I think they
is
do.
it just a business model for
I think-
them, and do they have fucking any principles at all?
Both the Democratic National Convention, the NC, and RNC are both companies, and their business model is raising donations. So they don't like as the company who is like essentially if they're the one that get you elected and support your campaign and stuff, they got you hired, so they're your boss. Their business model is raising donations, so they don't mind being like these precarious situations where it's like a 50-50 split between you and the Republicans. It's good for business because it generates donations. That's their business model. There is no Democratic Party without the donation business model. Those two things have to coexist. So they set their sights on fucking just barely winning or just barely losing because that's where the most donations are going to come from.
So this thing that's on the screen right now, Arizona Proposition 139, was a result of that some old archaic law that prohibited women from getting abortions that was actually in effect for a period of time here in Arizona. They there was such a huge backlash that the Republicans were like, we have to fix this before the election or else we're going to lose. So I do wonder whether in a state like Arizona, the fact that they fucked with shit so much in terms of like rights, fundamental rights that kind of people have accepted, like abortion is kind of like pretty much accepted by everyone except for religious fundamentalists. So I do wonder, at least in this state, if that sort of thing will draw more people out. You know, but maybe there's not enough of those things. Historically, these parties would intentionally put these things on the bill, like was it Proposition 15, or there was a bill that was like made it illegal for gay people to get married, and they put it on the bill on the ballot just to get people to come out to vote for George Bush. So this has been a traditional way of manipulating people to vote for their candidate. All I'm doing is eliciting sighs from you. Normally, I just want your fucking giggles. I want the giggles. The sighs
I'm
are
saying
not...
funnier things.
Okay, sorry. I'm loaded up if you want to talk about the Elon Musk video, or if you're tired, or if you're, not focused.
I'm debating because I feel like it's also like it's a weird night too.
Yeah, it is.
So I want to do BTS. I mean, we talked a little bit of BTS, but like I want to do a deep dive where we can just focus on that and focus on creating, right? And I feel like this moment is just too heavy for it, I think.
Well, and after I'm rounded up and put in the gulag after Trump wins, there's is that a sigh or a giggle?
Both. It's a sad giggle. I mean, that's a real threat when he says he's like wants to come after the radical left. I mean, his definition is broader than mine. Like he just means that like he thinks that like I don't know, Tim Kaine is radical left. But like that, I mean, that does have a. I mean that whenever there've been like hard far right movements, and we'll call it fascist as well. When it's fascist movements, the first people they go after are the antidote to them, which is the socialists. That's the first target, or in the first wave of targets. And so, I can't. It's not any one person's fault. It's not one person's fault. This is the fault of everybody at the top. But I do wish that we here in America on the left, from the Bernie Sanders to the left after him, had a better threat detection apparatus built into us, because we're so focused on liberals that we don't see the huge threat right behind them, which is Trump.
Well, isn't part of that
they're saying it?
Isn't part of it that there's this kind of a coalition of far right people who are bad faith actors who kind of align with the left against liberals, especially on Twitter. You get a lot of those people who kind of want to create a coalition against liberals, and so the focus isn't on fascists per se.
Yeah. The other thing too to watch out for on places like Twitter and YouTube and all that stuff is like everybody's a brand, even if it's just a person. They're a small business owner, and they have a business model that, like someone like a Jimmy Dore, his business model is to be anti-liberal.
The shitlib. I mean, his whole business model is centered around calling people shitlibs.
Right, but you have to recognize that that's a business model, and there are some people that I like that I know what their content is, what their business model is. I still like them, but you have to keep in your mind that it's a business model, and you have to allow that to like color your view of them.
Do you think what we're doing is business models, considering that we don't actually generate any revenue?
Not yet. I mean, you can still trust us for now.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some. I won't say any names because again, like I feel like it's not useful. And ultimately, anybody that I have a problem with that is on the left, their worldview at its worst is still better than anybody else's. Even if I don't agree with them or what they're doing, their still like net contribution is better than their negative. So I'm not gonna name any names, but like there's folks that like they make their whole thing to be anti-liberal, and the problem is they influence others, and it helps us not see the big threat. I mean, most of the left's business models are like talking about how bad liberals are, and I think that's valuable, but you can't miss the fucking fascists right behind them, the ones that openly want to kill us. I mean, can't miss that. I mean, the only time we beat fascism is when we actually teamed up with the liberals, unfortunately. That's what it takes. It takes numbers. And that's like the position I feel like that socialists are always put in, is recognizing the right wing and being the ones that can actually be the antidote to the right wing. And I feel like we dropped the ball when it comes to Trump.
Yeah.
We focus too much on fucking... Imagine focusing on Kamala Harris when Trump is right there.
Yeah,
I mean, again, I think just want to put out there, Gaza has colored so much of like the Biden administration for younger people and leftists that like it's hard to blame any individuals for like having that pressed upon them and like having all those images from us scrolling our phone and seeing this horror every single day for a year. Like you can't discount the power of that. And so like I'm not trying to blame normal people. It's just like, man, I think we failed at our responsibility to like first and foremost destroy the right wing and then carry the future forward. That's our job as socialists. We recognize how bad things can get. We have some material analysis. We know history better than most groups.
So did a lot of the sentiment come out of that big tweet that you had where you were getting yelled at by a lot of the people, by communists and socialists, as they were calling you a genocider? I mean, did some of the sentiment, have you changed, or have you always been this way? Or like, because that was hard to view for me, because I do align with communists. I do align with socialists. I consider myself both, depending on how you want to define it. And it's hard for
Yeah.
me because for me, if like communism is about uniting the working class against capital, and a lot of these people who claim that they're doing that, they're just fucking harassing people online and not creating a coalition that we're ever going to accomplish anything at. They're just dividing us. And I don't think that it's all. I think there are bad faith actors, but I think some of these people don't realize that they're doing that. Like, because one of these guys accused me of being a lib and creating. He said that I was Chuds of TikTok, and he said that I produced. He said that Chuds of TikTok was liberal content to make MAGA look bad. And I was like, I know Chuds, and Chuds is fucking. He's so fucking smart, and his analysis
Yeah,
is so
yeah,
good. But he takes a measured response on Twitter. He doesn't want to fucking alienate people, but he's probably to the left of me on a lot of things.
yeah.
Um, and so it fucking bugged me that somebody said that it was liberal content to to, to promote libs, and I was like, fuck, dude. And I was like, who are you? And this dude thinks he's a communist, and I was like, you're not a communist because you would not do these things because you would be trying to unify us against Elon Musk rather than empower Elon Musk. And so I did a deep dive on. I like went through this guy's timeline, and he's just a lonely guy
Yeah.
who has been radicalized online by the
Yeah.
Gaza content. I totally get it. If you see this, you're just like you want to blame somebody, you want to lash out for somebody. Everybody feels fucking powerless right now, and some people think that voting empowers them, and I don't think it necessarily does. But I don't want to deprive anybody who thinks that that is making a difference in their life of that.
Yeah.
And those people are kind of pushing against that. But I also don't want to tell this guy who witnessed these images of kids being killed, I don't want to tell him that his feelings don't matter. But he's trapped in this echo chamber on Twitter where he's just
Yeah.
getting this content and he wants to lash out at somebody. And that somebody was me. He like fucking bombarded me with pictures of dead kids. And I'm like,
Ah,
I've seen dead kids. I fucking think it's a genocide, but I don't think empowering Trump is going to solve that problem, buddy. And I kind of felt like when I thought about this person a lot, I thought that it was like a school shooter. Like he's isolated. He has these frustrations which are real. The school people who go and shoot up schools. It's not that they're just evil people who are malicious. They have fucking psychological trauma coming from somewhere. And so when I saw this guy lash out at me, at first I was like, he's just a bad faith person who wants Trump elected. And I went through and I was like, no, he's not that. He's just somebody who's seen trauma and he wants to blame somebody. He wants to create change. And people think that you can create change through Twitter, and to some degree you can, but not. Maybe that was in the past. Now Twitter is just a fucking shit show, and it's just a mess of garbage that's just messing with people's brains in like harmful ways that I don't think is constructive. I wonder about like when I went to vote, I voted for every single judge that was appointed. I voted against every single judge that was appointed by a conservative politician because those people are going to be the ones that are going to be harsher on poor people who don't have proper legislation. Those people are going to be the ones who uh, reverse reform when it's on the ballot. They're the ones that actually say when the people vote for something, these judges are like, nope, we're going to overrule this because of whatever measure. So voting fucking matters on some levels, and so depressing vote is harmful. I'm just totally rambling. I'm sorry, and I'm not going to
no,
get a
man, I think
laugh or a giggle for this one, and I'm
I might get a
disappointed.
sigh.
A sigh. Yeah, I meant a
Well,
sigh or a giggle. Sorry.
yeah, I mean, it's a knife war. It's fine. Like, this doesn't have to be a comedy show. Just us talking. Um, yeah, and I think a lot of I mean, there's two issues there. It's like one, it is hyper online and it's built out of like this being disconnected from society more than like the normal outside person. Like you and
It's
I are
true.
online a lot, and like, would you consider us like very like well integrated into our communities? I don't know about that.
Yeah.
And so like, and we both like work from home, right? And we create at home. And so there is like an isolation element to this. So we don't know how to like be like, you know, a lot of us, I would include myself in this, since COVID, like it's a lesser understanding of how to be around people than I did previous, right? And I think that's more and more of us are like that. And so we can easily fall into these situations like the guy that you were talking with. just through the isolation element. The other element, of course, is like you always mentioned, Twitter elevates this kind of stuff. It's their business model.
Yeah, and that's the thing that really gets me.
Drive
Is that
everybody crazy.
if it was designed to kind of like John Stuart Mill had the idea of the marketplace of ideas, that if you have all these ideas out there, free speech matters because truth will always overcome the wrong opinion. But with social media, it's just manipulation of those factors, so you will never get truth
Yeah.
out of it because the goal is not truth. The goal is engagement and
Yeah.
data, mining people's data and manipulating them. So it sucks. And with Elon in charge of Twitter, it's like really bad. I can't imagine where things are going.
Yeah. I think
Uh,
a misunderstanding is that people think that Elon is bad at Twitter. No, I think he's great at it. That's the problem. That's the real
well,
problem.
part of
He's
it is
bad.
that
He does.
his
Go ahead.
being able to control the system, anybody could be great at it. If you're in
Right, right.
charge of it. But he has the fundamentals
But
down. He has the
yeah,
basics down.
he wanted to create a hell machine, and he did. He found that could be pretty interesting, and it could be useful for, say, if he ever wanted to like buy a president um, and force kind of like create the conditions to help him get elected.
It's so
Um,
fucking insane that one guy is kind of the Elon Musk and Peter Thiel. They're both like Elon Musk in relationship with Donald Trump and Peter Thiel's relationship with the other ding dong. God, it's
JD Vance,
JD Vance.
JD Ding Dong.
It's so fucking gross that this is happening. You know?
And then the third thing that I think about with like why like the online left is the way it is a lot of us came to the realization of like we want to be a socialist, want to be communist, we want to explore this other identity and this other way of building a society. Uh, our our path is usually coming from being scorned against liberals. Like we were liberals who had faith in it, and then we lost our faith, and so it's like, or they did something that was like really to the right of us, or they had like cheated Bernie, you know, and so the core nugget of us like building this new identity is the core nugget is betrayal, and so we carry that into everything. We didn't often didn't come to this identity through a unifying moment in the workplace, you know, which is we came from like being mad at Elizabeth Warren for staying in the race too long. Like that's the core, like that is a core memory that's like embedded into who we are, that has like a hatred of
Is
liberals.
this the Bernie
Instead
the
of-
Bernie bro confession? Is that what we're hearing right now?
Well, I mean, I pull from my experiences more than anybody else's, so it's like that. I'm from that Bernie pipeline, you know. It was lib before Bernie, and then Bernie made me, you know, kicked off. He's a socialist kindergarten teacher for a lot of people. And so, yeah, I think that's something I've been like wrestling with and like trying to get rid of, and that's why studying more helps and being a parts of groups helps. Give you a better foundation, but for a lot of people, they're coming out of the like I hate the liberals mentality, and that's the foundation. They don't want to go right wing, but they're so focused on how bad the liberals are as their main thing more than they are the fucking socialism.
Do you think that any of the hatred towards liberals is the common ground with the far right has always demonized liberals and saying that they're bad because of the social values of liberals?
Well, that's built into our foundation too. It's like if you like, I when I was raised, that's everything I knew was how bad evil liberals
Yeah,
were.
that's part of my I was
That's in the DNA, and then plus the other thing.
I've always wondered if people who have, because I don't really have antagonism towards liberals. I'm annoyed by a lot of the
Yeah.
blue wave, stuff. It bothers me just because I'm not enthusiastic at all about Kamala. I just think that shit's not going to get any worse. And I mean that's a doomer mentality, but
Or get worse slower. That's the other thing. We need a little bit of time.
But for
We're
me,
gonna build, like alternative structures, we need a little bit of time.
as an autistic person, I like always have been like focused on like weird details. Like I've always felt like any position I've been in when I was employed, I always felt like I was exploited. So like when Bernie came along, I was like, oh, he gets what's happening to me. It wasn't that I felt like, oh, here's a person who's reframing my thing. He was just the guy telling me, yeah, he was basically telling me what I already knew was that I was being exploited every time I was working for somebody, and they were like trying to figure out the minimum amount to pay me for my efforts.
Yeah.
So like it's like a different pathway. So like part of me is like more sympathetic to the libs than the people who are radicalized by the Bernie movement.
Yeah. But even that is like, that's rooted. Your it sounds like your inkling that you wanted to be more socialistic, right? Was like that you were being exploited at work, right? That's still not, the foundation is still like a negativity, an anger, you know. And it's like, and I think that's in all of our DNA on the left. That's why part of why we're all so fucking grumpy, too. And like the dirtbag left got so popular because I think it spoke for a lot of people being like, "Fuck this shit," because we all come from some one way or another. Most of us come from "fuck this shit." We didn't come from like a church group. You know, we're not like Martin Luther King leftists. We're something different. And Bernie's like the avatar of that, just being so fucking mad at how bad the system is. And that's why he spoke to us so well. It's like that's how we felt. Like he tapped into like the way that Trump taps into like right wing psychos. Bernie tapped into us. That kind of like that's why he's like the least likely charismatic leader guy. Is because not because he's particularly charismatic, because he's exactly us, and we exactly resonated
Well, I
with that
mean, I think
vibe.
pretty sure that his experience is kind of he gets it. Like if you look at his past, he kind of he was there for the protests against the what was it at the school where I can't remember where it was. There are historical photos of him participating
Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
actual civic protests, unlike
Action. Yeah.
any other fucking politician. I mean, all the Democratic black politicians that are the aged ones, you can find them involved, but like all of
Yeah.
the other white liberals and especially the white Republicans, they only view uh, government as as an end to their own business. Like they
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
extend. Oh, they were regulating my business too much, so now I got to get in there and change the rules so we can put more pesticide in our spray bottles.
That's sick.
It's true.
That's
The
sick.
fucking
Yeah.
Tom
No, it's
DeLay. It
true.
was Tom DeLay.
Yeah.
He was the exterminator. He was the Speaker of the House.
Unbelievable.
His sole purpose of getting into Congress was because he was
Unbelievable.
mad about regulation on his pest spray for his business.
Oof. I gotta check something real quick. I just saw a tweet, but I want to confirm.
Uh, he's gonna call it. Trump to speak to supporters soon. What was the tweet?
Uh, I think the tweet that I saw was Hassan Piker. Fox just called Pennsylvania for Trump.
Oh, that's gonna be fucking bad.
That's it. I mean, she needed to win
Pennsylvania was super
Pennsylvania,
important.
Michigan, Wisconsin. Yeah, there's no other path. Holy shit.
Well, he's going to speak to his supporters soon, so I'm thinking he's going to call. He's going to claim victory right now. Like any minute, he's going to say he won Pennsylvania. We should just stop counting the votes.
Oh,
Are you?
Sam Sachs. Okay, Sam. If you watch Means Morning News, Sam Sachs just just threw us a lifeline. His tweet. It's a picture of Sean Fain, head of UAW. He said, "Dust it off. This guy is trying to get unions to align their contracts for a 2028 general strike." Fuck yeah. Thanks, man. Retweet that. Yeah. I mean, again, that's something like, yeah, great, but also like that was this guy integrated into the Democratic Party. Like it would have been easier with Democrats in charge for us to pull off a general strike than it will be with Trump in charge. Yeah.
Say that again. You said it would be easier under.
Under Democrats to pull off a general strike.
Well,
I
that's
mean,
what.
it's just, I'm not. I mean, they're not gonna let us. But it's like they won't kill us as much. I mean, Sean Fain is like he's in there like whipping votes for the other union people to like support the Democrats. Like he is the forefront of like the union movement right now.
Yeah, and like a lot of times, like I tend to want to say that I'm ignorant in a lot of regards, and I will defer to somebody like him if he says that
Yeah.
this is the path
Who the fuck are
forward.
you to say? You know what I mean? Like, like all these people that are yelling at me, calling me a genocider and shit. It's
Yeah, I
just like,
fucking hate that shit.
it's like, listen, that I'm following. Like one of the people I'm following is the fucking guy that's doing it. You haven't done shit. You're a poster.
Hmm.
I'm a poster, but I don't pretend to be anything more than that.
Well, I love your. I mean, why I love you is because of your bravery of coming out and doing that. Because I fucking say talk shit all the time, but I'm not. I feel like awkward telling people you gotta vote for Kamala or whatever. So I appreciate that you did that. Probably considering that it was probably harder for you to vote for Kamala than it was for me. For me, it was just easy because I'm just like I don't want him deporting my neighbors. I don't want him fucking with my family who some of them are not native born people. It was very easy for me to vote for Kamala, but I know that you've been traumatized by this and the fucking fact that all these people who are just trying to build their social media profile criticize you really fucking broke my heart. So I appreciate that effort.
Yeah.
Look at them; they're just waiting to hear this guy talk. He's gonna come. I can't believe this is this early. I can't believe this is early, and he's already gonna do it.
It wasn't hard for me to vote for Kamala because it's not voting for Kamala. It's voting for us.
Yeah,
We have better
and
chances. We have better
yeah,
chances under like regime X than we do regime Y. And if we're fucking dead or like in jail, we're not going to be as effective for stopping anything else or building anything else that's positive. And so it wasn't hard for me to tick that because it's not about her. Who gives a
yeah,
shit about her? She
yeah. It's
sucks.
Sam
Fucking
Cedar.
jerk.
Sam Cedar always brings up the point that you're not voting for the person. You're voting for the people that person is going to bring into the administration. You're voting for
Even
all.
that, no, even that. I mean, yes, to some extent, maybe. Like, who's the head of the FEC? Is FEC Kamala Khan?
Lena Khan.
Lena
Lena
Khan.
Khan.
Lena Khan.
Yeah.
Um,
You're never going to get
yeah,
somebody like her under Trump. Never.
no.
He had
But I
that
mean,
guy
that's
with the big Reese's peanut butter cup, that fucking douchebag. Who you remember him? He had a big, huge.
now it's gonna be Elon Musk.
Oh my god. And
Um,
and RFK Jr. in charge of Health and Human Services.
oh, I feel sick. Um, it's gonna be all resistance for like 4 years. It has to be because if we don't, then we're just toast. Because what he said, he want to get rid of the Department of Education. It's like it's just not fun for me, man. Like,
This.
yes, it's not about the Democrats. I mean, it's too late, but it's not about the Democrats. It's about help us being in the not making things even harder on ourselves while we try to build the future because we don't have a lot of time either. And I don't want to fucking be in the streets fighting fascists. We want
Well,
like as a like an online. How about this? As an online leftist specifically, listen. Very clearly, you want the liberals to be your number one enemy. So make them your number one enemy. Don't let the fucking right wing get in the way. Put the liberals in so we can fight them. That's fun for us. We made a cottage industry out of it.
I think the worst thing about. I mean, I'm a doomer. I like got a very negative view of everything. But the worst thing about this is going to be all of the shitty memes that these people put out, like all of the shitty content. It's just so fuck.
AI.
Oh my god, it's gonna be so bad. 4 years of them making Trump, Rambo memes, or whatever is gonna happen, and mm, I'm kind of surprised. I'm not like a person who's coped like, oh, it's gonna happen. We still have a chance here. I kind of thought that something horrible could happen, but it's surprising that it doesn't look like it's gonna be close. Maybe at this point.
I don't know. I can't imagine she ekes it out.
They're saying Donald Trump has won Florida. Oh, and Georgia. Florida. That, I mean, that's Florida was already in his column, I think, but Georgia was maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, they're calling it, but everyone's calling at their own pace. So the official results on AP hasn't called it yet, but who cares? Yeah. Wow. How ready for this? How pathetic is Jill Stein? She's tied, basically, tied with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who's not even running for president.
Yeah. I wonder about like how can you get like it's not that she's stupid. I mean, she's probably a smart
Yeah,
person,
no.
but it's just like you get
Yeah.
in these you get in your own echo chamber and you start thinking you start seeing patterns that are not there and you start thinking that you're some kind of super genius and that you have the right path forward.
I don't know. I'm not going to make any guesses on them. Like, I voted Green Party before, too, and I don't know, I'm not going to blame any individual.
No, I voted for Nader in 2000 with in the election that people said that voting
Yeah.
for Nader turned the election. So, I thought Nader was a better choice than Gore. So,
Yeah. Oh, boy.
are you tapped into Twitter Central right now? Just looking at tweets.
I looked at a little bit, but it's all the same. Like, and everyone's trying to blame somebody else, and oh my God, I was so wrong. All this kind of stuff. Reverse January 6th, who's in? I always say January 6th, but for climate change, that's a bop.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I can see taking action for something that was not Donald Trump, something that actually is real.
Yeah. Let me just say this. I love you. Hearts.
That's your tweet?
Yeah. You dare me?
I'm going to tweet out, see you on the other side.
Oh, like dying? Oh
Yeah.
no.
No, I'm not going to. I don't really care to get engaged in Twitter combat right now.
I love you with some couple of hearts. That's it.
We should have streamed on your channel. We would have got more. Well, I don't know. Maybe we would. Maybe everybody's just watching other things, or maybe people just want to disengage at this point.
Who knows?
So
It's like,
Trump support more higher among Latino voters in Pennsylvania than it was in 2020. So
yeah,
like,
the demos went up for men across the board.
oh yeah, men.
Just pulled just enough men.
So
What do we
that's-
do about men? Time to start executing them. A lot of them? No.
Yeah. You had that take. I mean, you kind of with your Andrew Tateism, and I think it's good that you're thinking about your kid because that's the only framework. Because if I didn't have family, and I was just locked up in my own room with my own stuff, the outcome's not going to really affect me at all. Being a white dude, I just keep my mouth shut and I can go about my business just the same way. But fucking people who are not white dudes, going to be harder for almost all of them.
Hasn't hit me yet. I mean, I also don't think. I think I'm a little bit fortified to it because I've been thinking about this a lot and I've gone through it before. But it's also like I haven't gone through what Trump has the ability to become.
We haven't seen its final form.
No, yeah, it was just like, or it's the next version of. Wait, was it before I make a Dragon Ball Z reference? I better look it up. Was Frieza the one that would, or was it Cell?
I've never watched it.
Forms.
I'm a Voltron guy. You gotta
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, yeah, it's not his. It isn't the end of him. Like the first time he was in, he was like restrained about by not knowing anything and like not being like he being like the new guy on the block. Now he's the guy.
Yeah, fucking the idea of him bringing
Um,
back Bannon and Michael Flynn and putting those people back in power. And
Now that Michael Flynn is like the head of QAnon.
oh my God, I will guarantee you QAnon is coming back. The only reason QAnon was silent was because
Oh, it
Kamala.
wasn't silent. It was just it was like amped down, but now it's not.
No,
Now
the
it's
person behind QAnon backed off because Biden was in charge of intelligence services. But once Trump's back in charge of intelligence services, they're gonna let that shit fly again. So that's exciting.
yeah, it feels not great to be honest. Boy,
Well, I wanted to see like the popular vote. Do you think he's gonna win the popular vote?
I think he's gonna win both.
Really, that's gonna be like heartbreaking.
Wow!
That's
Oh my God!
what?
Look at this. Trump 45% in Dearborn, Michigan. Harris 15%. Jill Stein 33%.
Oh my God. So, yeah, the Gaza thing really fucking made a difference.
Yeah.
Kamala really fucked that shit up in Michigan.
Oh my God.
And there's gonna be a lot of blaming.
Yeah, it's gonna be
The
a
libs are gonna
we're
blame
gonna
the
be a mess.
Muslims. The Arabs are gonna blame.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
Jill Stein's public enemy number one, of course.
She's the
But so is
nadir of this
Kamala.
year.
But so is Kamala for other people.
Yeah.
Joe Biden. And nobody's gonna like take and not many people are gonna take the blame too. So like there's not gonna be much self-reflection. Like everyone's gonna be like hardened into their positions. I mean, some people will self-reflect, but like I think generally speaking, you're not gonna have people being like, "Oh yeah, we really botched this one," on either side, on any political philosophy that lost today. Like I think the Jill Stein voters are gonna be like, beefed it. No way. You think the liberals are gonna be like, geez, we really messed that one up, huh? No.
Eh.
Yeah, I don't know what this means. Like, I, I guess my faith is still in the same place I left it, which is hopefully we can get all the unions still acting in coordination together, and that becomes a third party in its own right, in a way. Not like an official third party, but like, I mean, normal people have always been the third party in this country. Like, there are three parties. There's like the evil fascists, and then there's the horrendous capitalists, and then there's working people. But we're not in Washington. We just do all our shit in the streets. And so like, we do it where politics actually matters. And that's how change has always happened in this country. So I think the most organized people in America are unions. And if there's anything that's good that's going to come, it's going to come from them. And we've got to do what we can to back them up and protect them, and join them. It's something I'd like to see a lot of the people in our space, the kind of online left media sphere. I'd like to see us cover liberals and maybe like 40% less, and just cover whatever any union is doing anywhere 40% more.
Yeah, but that's probably a good point.
Like
You
we should turn our online media left sphere, instead of being like a fuck you liberal institution, which is primarily what we are, or fuck you right wing, fuck you liberal, we should be like the propaganda wing for any like organized working people in the country. But we're so disconnected from each other, we can't even organize that. Anyway.
Hey, your state still hasn't been called. Maine's not been called. Susan Collins, do you remember? Do you feel like Susan Collins represented your state well?
She's been in this. She's been my senator since I was like a kid.
Really?
Wait, how long is it? Let me double check that. I think she was even as a teenager. Collins, how long in the Senate? Ready? First year in Senate.
Is it your date of birth?
All right, guess the year. I was pretty okay. Guess the year that Susan Collins entered the Senate. Guess. Don't look it
Well,
up.
hold on. 92.
Come on, man. Later.
Later than 92?
Yeah.
2000?
1996.
Oh. I was close. What do you mean later? That was just one fucking election cycle. 92 to 96. Jeez. I was like, oh my god, I was like, am I that bad? So, 96. But yeah, I guess you were really young then. You were
I was
a
10.
spring
Even
chicken.
since I was 10. Spring chicken, yeah.
But did she, I mean, in your state, was she considered, did people view her as a moderate, not really partisan, or?
I mean, I think what happens in a lot of states is they just the person that wins, and then they're just the one you keep voting for because they
That's
won.
kind of like McCain was here in Arizona.
Yeah, you
They
don't have to
just-
think about it. Oh yeah, this
yeah.
person's already been doing the job. That's how most people vote. Most people vote like they don't even do any research; they just walk in. And, like meanwhile, you got people like agonizing over it, and like we're at the smallest percent of the population. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Your wife seemed kind of a little antsy about things. Did she go to bed? Was she able to
Yeah, I think so.
go to work?
Yeah.
It sucks that it like upsets people to this degree that people like.
Of
you
course,
know,
and it's not unjustified. Like,
but it's also that like I feel like people are kind of powerless. I don't think that people really do have. We're just subject to the whims of people who have money and the people who pay us, so we can pay our debt. And it sucks that these things feel when we have a choice. It feels really significant because most of the time we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice of what we do. It's just kind of like handed to us for a lot of times. I don't know. Maybe some people do have a choice.
I know. I think on the individual level, you're 100% right. I think we're very powerful when we work together. And we've been so hyper individualized, not just by the culture of individualism, but also by capitalism.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason. Like, I was cutting. I was helping my neighbor trim some trees yesterday, and he had the big thing, like trim the branches off, right? And I don't have that tool.
You don't have that tool?
No, but here's why. My fucking neighbor has it. Why would I
Yeah.
get the tool? Like,
Yeah.
it's psychotic that we all have to have like
Yeah.
just like something
I
like
agree.
tools. Like,
I agree.
Like, why would I need my own tool?
You
Why
mentioned
would-
this. You were the one that pointed out that some places some libraries you can go and rent
Yeah.
out.
In
And
LA,
I
it's
did
awesome.
research on this because when I went to the library, I was talking about how you can rent out power tools at the library, and this guy's like, "Is that true?" And I was like, "I think so." Justin
the
T.
greatest thing
Justin T. Brown told me about that it was true.
Yeah.
So I
It's like,
researched it, and
Justin T. Brown.
I researched it, and in the Bay Area in particular, there are community libraries of tools where you can just go,
Yeah.
and that's the way it fucking should be. But
Yeah.
we have people lobbying the government to prevent that sort of thing because they want to rent you the tool or they want to be the guy that you have to be dependent on.
Like,
It's
it makes
fucking
so much
absurd.
more sense.
Yeah.
It makes so much more sense for there to be like a shed with the community lawnmower. in it.
Socialized gardening is like,
Brother.
yeah.
That's the
mean,
niche. That's the niche right there. No, it makes so much more sense for there to be like if you get like 10 houses, right? It makes so much more sense to be just like one lawnmower that everybody
Yeah,
everyone has like the passcode
it's-
for. You go take it out for an hour.
The fact that people don't even think about this is fascinating because not everybody needs the lawnmower, and the lawnmower sits most of the time. So
Yeah.
why isn't there a community
the
fucking
idea-
lawnmower? A community
and part of
fucking
the-
lawnmower.
Yeah, and part of the idea of getting a house is that you also have to get all these appliances to go with it, right? Like part of the like when people imagine the American dream, it's like the house, the picket fence, and the lawn, right? But then you got your own lawnmower. You don't need your own fucking lawnmower. It's so stupid. It's not doing anything 90% of the time it exists. Like, but we're so individualized and separated from each other through stuff like that we don't realize our own power that we have collectively. Like if we shared the community lawnmower, we'd have the lawnmower industry by the balls. we could tell them to add whatever features we wanted.
Yeah.
And that goes for everything. You know, if we collectivize our power and share things and do things together, then we're extremely powerful. We run this shit. We build it all. I mean, why wouldn't we run it? It's crazy that we produce all the value that the earth has, both economically and culturally. But like 10 rich guys get to reap the benefit of all of it. It's psychotic. It's a disease.
Yeah. I'd like to call back to the idea. Oh, you were going to finish up with the disease thing.
No, I was just going to go on for another hour and a half.
Well, I wanted to go back to the idea of like, we talk about innovation and whatnot and ownership. Like imagine like the person who finally created the best version of the wheel, and
Yeah.
it's built upon all of the other iterations of the wheel and all of the other tools that people created to create the wheel. And then this person says, no, I've created this wheel, and anybody from here on out, they have to pay me residuals, me personally, and I'm not gonna pay any of that back. All of the residuals for the wheel just have to come to me, and that's like people in America think that that is normal. That somebody who does that sort of thing should be entitled to everything, and I think that Donald Trump is partly a symptom of that mentality of individualism
he's
and
like,
ownership.
Yeah, he's like the avatar of it. If you could put, there's not a worse guy. If that is like your big beef, there's not a worse guy to put in the driver's seat. It's like he's like Neo in the Matrix of being a fucking jerk, being greedy, and being the fucking the mascot of capitalism. Yeah. And Kamala did a lot of stuff wrong, and what she's helping facilitate in Gaza is a horror. But she ain't that. You don't put that. I think about. You don't put that in the driver's seat. I think about in Total Recall. Remember Total Recall?
Mm-hmm.
At the end, he has to turn on the big reactor to like terraform Mars. That's the ending. And there's an alien handprint that he has to like touch, and that activates the reactor. But it has this really specific shape. It's like this, right? It's four-fingered, but he has to make his hand fit that. Trump is that four-fingered being to activate like the worst that America has to offer. To activate its darkest everything. He's the guy. It's like he was born in a lab to be the ultimate American, pejorative, parentheses, pejorative. And so now you put that guy in the most powerful seat. That's not just horrifying for us. That's horrifying for the whole world.
It's fucking embarrassing because we are constantly saying that we're the best. America's the best country in the world, but look at what cream rose to the top in the system. It's just
so it's designed. That's what it's
fucking
designed for.
Embarrassing. It's
the guy that said that is the guy that like helped design that. He's talking about himself. Trump is like he's the representative of America. If you're gonna send like if an alien's gonna come down and be like, show me the number one American, it's Trump. And I mean that in the worst way possible. God, you don't put that guy in the driver's seat. I don't know why it's. Yeah. Anyway, I'll be nice.
There's no reason to be nice. This is the most passionate I think I've seen you in terms of criticizing that particular element. I mean, it seems like the closer we got, and the more.
Well, it's a criticism of me too. Like, because I'm from the same. From the same cohort of folks that were like scorned by the Democrats that became leftists, you know. So I get the vibe and I feel it, but it's also like, God, it's so easy for us to miss the big picture, and get caught up in the emotion of it because there's an element of this that it is like spectator sport for us, just like it is for everybody else
Well,
in politics.
it's not going to be
Watching
any
politics.
consolation, but Bibi had some fights with his people on this particular day, which is not a
Mhm.
coincidence. So it's not going to be any consolation when fucking Bibi takes Trump's ascension to mean that he can fucking just, you know,
Unload.
glass the entire place, which wouldn't have happened under Kamala. So all of these people who have been pushing this point are going to look like tremendous fools at this point, I think. And I don't
Yeah.
know if there's going to be any self reflection either. They're just going to be
Well,
like, well, now we can rebuild better, build back better.
well, even like there's an argument to say like, what else can you do to Gaza that hasn't been done already? I think it's like it's an okay point, but
I
they
don't know about that.
like they could end. I mean, they could destroy. They could kill every single person in Gaza
That's what
tomorrow.
I'm saying. Is like there's a difference between 100,000 people dying in genocide and 500,000 people dying in genocide.
Yeah,
You know?
and like doing it like tomorrow,
Yeah.
and
And
then go right into and then just nuke like Iran tomorrow.
oh yeah,
You know what I
that for
mean?
sure. I
Like
mean,
that's different
basically
than like
an
because
escalation of
that's
everything.
because even if you believe like I do that Democrats are a slow slide into these problems, that slow slide gives us time to build,
Yeah.
and we're not doing our part by not building. Yeah, we're not doing it. Like we have this amazing gift like the asteroid is coming really slow. We have enough time to build something to deflect it, right? That's Democrats. Trump is that asteroid just hits. You didn't even see
Yeah.
it coming. Um, and so we didn't take advantage of our gift, and then we threw it away. So
Mm.
we should know better. What country are you in? What
Yeah.
country are we in? We're in the country that like was founded on brutally annihilating every person that was already here when people who look like me arrived,
Writing
and
the
then like we just kidnapped an enormous amount of people and turned them into slaves.
yeah.
It's
I
a
mean,
horror.
like
That's the foundation of the country. That's the core. That's
Thomas.
like just like our core problem on my leftist is like that betrayal from Democrats, right? The core of America is just fucking killing people
Yeah.
brutally and disgustingly, and enslaving people and breeding humans like as if they were dogs.
Thomas Jefferson.
That's the core.
Thomas Jefferson writing on a
Should
desk
have known
made by
better.
slaves in a house made by slaves in a house served by slaves about
Yeah,
the importance of human rights.
probably writing on their like a segment of their skin that's been dried. You know what I mean? Like that's how bad. Like it's like nightmare stuff. Like
Yeah.
that's not like we haven't like excised that demon,
And the
right?
thing
So
is
that's
that
the core of.
the
So
right
to
is
miss
trying to
like
prevent us from doing that. The right is
yeah
trying to make us not aware of the fact that Thomas Jefferson wrote these things about black people being, apes or whatever. And there's letters of that. The right does not want to teach history because we will learn lessons from history. They don't want us to learn any lessons because they want to continue that path that he and those slave owners set for us.
yeah
It's fucked. Fucked.
yeah. So, but is there okay? So here's a question: Is there um can is there a way for us to say this is how it's always been, and now we're just more aware of it, or is Trump really that unique?
It's both, right? I mean, I think
Mm.
it's always been this way, but we've never had a figure who was came to power at this
Embodied
particular
it in
and
such a way.
at the right moment. He wasn't really a part of the whole Tea Party, I mean, he was a part in terms of birtherism or whatever, but he wasn't tapped into politics as keenly. But he was at the right point, a moment in time, probably more than anybody in history, for him, and he just took advantage of it. Because
Yeah,
like if you actually knew anything about the guy, he's stupid and he's not a good business person. But he was
yeah,
just he was promoted by NBC at just the right time to become the businessman to run America when shit was not going well.
yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
don't think, like you say, I don't think that he's just the ultimate manifestation of white supremacy from the founding fathers. Because I think it's just a fluke that has always existed, and he just kind of fluke through things. You know, he
Yeah, but
just
the conditions created him. I think he's probably like
yeah.
the most George Washington president we've ever had. Just a fucking jerky rich guy who got to write his own legacy.
Yeah.
The king of jerky rich guys. And now Elon Musk is the shadow
Oh my
president.
God, that's like the worst thing. Like Donald Trump being in power, but like also like Peter Thiel being a shadow, person in this administration, just horrific because that guy, his whole thing is just weird libertarian, economics, which like only wealthy people want. Like no normal person. You will not go to an inner city ghetto or to the slums in India and meet a libertarian. Nobody in those areas are libertarians. Are only people who were born into a particular station in life.
95% reporting in Pennsylvania. Trump up 3 points.
How many electoral votes? It's 20. Is 20 Pennsylvania? How many electoral votes is it?
I think it's 20. It doesn't say on this map I'm looking at, but I think it's 20.
I can't wait for him to declare victory right now.
I can. I don't want to watch it. I just like
It's rough, yeah.
it feels like a funeral.
But you can watch the geeks that are really into it, like Steve Kornacki. He knows all of the little districts, and he can tell you how they traditionally vote and how this will go this way. And it's only midnight. Like last year, I remember it was like 5 a.m. before like anything really happened. So,
Yeah.
but Trump's plan clearly is he's going to come out before any of the actual conclusion happens here, and he's going to say it's over. I'd like to. He's going to declare victory. That's why Kamala said she's not going to speak. Because what do you say to the person that declares victory before the votes are counted?
Yeah. I'm liking there's some hope posts. I'm okay with that. Do not despair, friends. We still got this.
I should.
Some
Is there?
cosmic slop.
I wonder if there's a way for. This is the problem with this particular type of stream is I can't hand it over to you in terms of your Twitter feed. I guess
That's
can
fine.
you share?
I don't want to watch a stream where I'm just reading somebody's Twitter feed.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Going through Twitter is okay. Twitter has some insight. It's not any better than me putting MSNBC or whatever garbage is here. They fucking don't really care any other way than this is just a sports match to them.
Yeah.
So Hannibal Buress, what was the? Let's talk about Hannibal.
Hannibal did, I think. Okay, let's close on this too because
You
I
want to
gotta
go?
go to bed soon.
Fine.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. I think Hannibal Buress is kind of a model for that moment. Like he made a joke so funny that it sent Bill Cosby to prison, and in a way helped like kick off the Me Too movement. That's
That,
crazy. What a legacy. Um, I'm not like the biggest Hannibal Buress fan. I guess like there's some controversy with him being a landlord too
you
that I don't
saw
really know about.
you saw that.
Yeah,
Why,
I've
why
heard
can't
of that. I heard that before. Yeah,
really?
yeah. But that thing that he did, like, and totally like on a whim too, not intentional, just did it. It really changed things, and for just like a little joke that was like really straightforward. Yeah, he's just a rapist. That's that's like the joke. It's not funny. It's real. I think he said that in the video. Um, the power of what you can do is, I think people underestimate themselves. And I think something like what Hannibal did with Bill Cosby shows that you can use like the power of comedy to really affect some change. You can really punch a powerful person right in the fucking balls. And if you do it the right way at the right time, you go viral in the right way. You can wield power, and I think that's that was like invigorating me to like come to that realization that like, oh, what we're doing, as stupid and silly as it is, if you did it at the right exact moment, in the right way, and the right person saw it, you could really hit somebody
I
in a
love
good
that.
way.
I love that idea. Is that moment in time is a metaphor for how it can be done in the future.
Yeah.
You know, so
So very inspiring. Hannibal Buress should go on his grave after he passes. Like that, he wrote a joke so funny that it put Bill Cosby in prison. What a legend!
did you do better than the original post? The original
What?
post was about Tony Hinchcliffe.
Oh, I think so. I think it's. I'm
Oh, and
almost.
now you're bragging. Oh my God.
Well. 197,000 likes. Let's look at the original. 75,000.
Really? And I mean, that's gonna be a painful one too, because this person thought that Tony Hinchcliffe tanked Donald Trump's
Yep.
Trump's
Probably
presidency.
put him over the edge.
Yeah.
Tony Hinchcliffe. Yeah, I should tweet that. I'm gonna
He's
like my own tweet
he's
first.
gonna think Donald Trump would like to thank Tony Hinchcliffe for the
Tony Hinchcliffe, kingmaker.
Oh my God.
Should that be the tweet? Tony Hinchcliffe, kingmaker. Is that good?
I don't know.
Does
I mean,
that-
I never
does that
understand.
capture the vibe, right?
I think people on Twitter tend to be a lot of them tend to be like low information, just click on immediate things that kind of just fire off at a synapse in their brain. So
Tony Hinchcliffe. It's not exactly accurate of what happened, but I think it's rolls off the tongue funny.
you're gonna draw some ire if it gets if like somebody like Chud's like retweets it. You're gonna get some pushback on that one. I think. Don't you think?
I don't
Blue.
care.
You're gonna get blue waved.
That's okay. They can. I don't know. Wave the fucking Senate. No, I think it's just snarky enough.
Well,
You gotta be on the just snarky enough.
you know better than I do on these things. I'm still
Maybe.
still considering my Balzac tweets. So
Oh, Matt Leck with Trump's gonna die at some point. President JD.
oh my God, yeah. The NBC is calling Pennsylvania for Trump. So
Yeah, it's over.
fascinating.
It looks like Harris is gonna win the popular vote by a smidge.
So I mean, what is the takeaway from that? That she can't even compete in terms of popular vote with fucking Joe Biden. I mean, is it misogyny? Is it just that she's a woman and she couldn't probably?
Yeah, that's literally part of it, but the other part of it is nothing inspiring. It's an equation of like a few things. She's a black woman, yeah, big disadvantage in this fucking country for popularity, no doubt. And then they're just not doing anything to inspire anybody to do anything.
Yeah, it's sad because it seems like we had like maybe a week or two of inspiration, and then all of a sudden it was just like she's telling the protesters to shut up, and things just went to shit from there. There was nothing that she never really brought back from that dip. She never recovered.
Yeah. All right. Here's the inspirational quote that I want to end the stream on, and this is perfect timing because my receiver is about to die. The battery is about to die. This is from House of Decline. If this has you in a grim mood, you really want to off yourself. You really want to give those fucks their satisfaction. The less you suffer, the more they suffer. You can punish them by just existing. I hope their every waking moment is spent in fucking agony, knowing I exist.
But most people are in agony knowing that I exist. So
I certainly am. Good night.
all right. Good night. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm sorry this wasn't on your channel because I think we could have.
No, that's cool. It's all good.
Well, let me know. I mean, if you want to, we can do this format again, and we can, share the Halloween stuff. If I make it's late at this point, but whatever you want to do.
No, it doesn't matter. I like that. People who like that stuff love that stuff, so we should do it, and it'll prompt us to talk.
And feel free if you want to steal this and put it on your own channel or whatever you want to do.
I'm trying to decide if we should clip stuff up and put out stuff. I don't know. I kind of feel like we should, but
it's really time consuming though to sit through like 2 hours and try to find the one moment where we
Have
shine.
AI do it.
Can you have AI do it?
I think
Is
there's some
AI
some
can really
tools.
analyze and pick out which.
They don't know what they probably don't know that much what they're clipping, but
Oh,
they can
they're
probably
just looking for
recognize like exciting
like
moments.
yeah, okay, all right. If you want to make yourself even more obsolete, you go ahead and use AI as an editor.
Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. Just delete myself. All right.
I love
Goodbye.
you. Take care.
Good night, guys. Thanks, and thanks for watching too. I appreciate all of you.
Mm, bye.
Bye bye.